guilty of crime.
And we're back. Hello, everybody. How you doing today? Hopefully everyone's doing very well. Again, we're back. I'm your host, Jay, with Guilty of Crime. And you guys know the drill. Come on in, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can. I can say hello to my beautiful people since I'm a couple of minutes early. Let me shout out to Libra Cole. How are you doing? Good to see you. Peace to you. Kel's in the house reliably every day. Mama Pearl. It's been forever. I just had like a 45-minute long conversation with Mama Pearl. And then I said, I gotta go. I gotta film. I spent a lot of time with y'all. And I miss you guys on the weekends. Sadie's mama, good to see you. Sadie's mama's been here literally since day one. So shout out to you, Kathy. How you doing? Hi, have you got ads running at start said paid promo? I'm not sure what that means. I don't think so because I don't have paid promotions and neither do you. So Kathy, I'm going to say no. All right. And if you want to talk about further behind the scenes, send me an email. All right, my friend. I want to have your back and get you up and going with that channel. Mama Sage, how you doing? Thank you. That's my haircut from yesterday. It's only going to last me a few days. You know what I'm saying? My hair grows so damn fast. What's up, Sovette? How you doing? Maggie's in the house. Teresa, I have something to talk about you. If you want to text me after, if you have time to shoot me a text, or we can have a call. Girl, I'm telling you. Eastern Girls Crafting. How you doing? Good to see you. Natasha, happy Wednesday. Is that you, Mystic and Badass? Or did you change your name again? You made it. All right, you guys, we're here. I got here a couple minutes early. I wanted to say hello. I know I don't always get a chance to respond. Deb, I was just thinking about you as well. I got to get back to Stefan. Every time it reminds me, and then, so I just emailed myself. How you doing, Deb? I hope you're doing well today. Guys, I know there's some storms out there in different states. My girl Tiff is having a storm. I don't know if we're going to see her in chat today, but we have the lovely Kel and we have Mama Pearl. I don't know where everyone else is, but that's all we need. There's Cuff You. Shout out to her. Cuff You put a document together for me today. That's really good. So thank you, my friend. Shout out to Cuff You. You help a lot more than you know. Foxy's in the house. Foxy, you have to show up every day because when you don't, people be on the bolo for you. All right? People be on the bolo. Next thing you know, we're gonna have Foxy Amazon's own channel where she's spinning and giving Foxy boxes, right? Then you guys can see her every day. Edith, how you doing, Krista? I'm glad you're here nice and early, guys. 407. Good to see you. And we're in a different group today. I noticed when I cover the Nancy Guthrie case. All right, I'm never gonna forget you, Lady for Justice, my girl. Look at yesterday when we did the Nancy Guthrie case. It was very important to me, and it still is. And the only reason I'm not covering it today is because other cases need coverage. Because boy, did I want to get on there and report my ass off. There's stuff I got to catch up on with you guys. But there's also people that didn't know that Elena's body was even found, let alone the autopsy was done on Saturday and came back. Shout out to Andrea Irish. Glad you made it. The boss bitch, Mama Sage, Princess, Vicky, Montana Mystic. Oh, there you are. Oh, it's a different person. Shadow. All right, ladies, whoever's here, welcome. Welcome to Guilty of Crime. If you're new, if you come in late, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can, and help support the channel. We've got a goal up. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, people, Elena Moore autopsy released. Was she lured to her death? What really happened? We're going to talk about what happened. And at the top of the hour, just straight out of the gate, first of all, we need justice for Elena. What happened to Elena Moore? I'm going to fill you in as much as I possibly can. And I'm going to ask you, was she lured to her death? Guys, that may not even have been the crime scene, knowing what we know now that the autopsy was released. All right, this is crazy. I think my initial, I didn't skip over you. It just must have been going down, up and down. I can't see. Indy Isham, you get me good. What's up, girl? Good to see you. I didn't. I was like, there's Indy. Let's get past her on purpose. Also, shout out to Coffee and Dog Studio. Hey, Jay, I'm AKA Nope, Not Today. Okay, legally retired. I'll do my best to remember that. We love you, Indy. I always just assume you're here and that I'm going to say hi to you at some point. Elvin, good to see you. One Love. I love that you got your mom in here now. I love it. Bring her. Let's all send big hugs to One Love's mom. All right. Opt in. Foxy's giving away a 420 membership, and I'm giving away a random membership. And there is One Love's mom, Viking Treasure. Shout out to you. Big hugs. All right. Okay, so guys, we want justice for Elena Moore. And guess what? The first episode that I did on this case, I said, is this compared to JP Miller and Micah? JP and Micah Miller? What's going on here? Guys, it's a 60-40 split right now. When I say that, 60% of the people are saying he killed her, he did it, she was afraid for her life, he was abusive, and the other 40 are saying he didn't do anything and she was out of her mind. So we're going to talk about that, all of that, and of course we're going to get into the autopsy right at the top of the hour. Then we're going to talk about, was she lured to her death? And you'll know what I mean. Oh, Nikki, I was ignoring you totally. I don't pander. I don't cater to the OGs around here, right? Crime Time on a Dime. I like that one though. If you have a channel, let us know. We'll shout you out. Crime Time on a Dime. Crazy Jane, Sabrina, and my fellow Shadow Lion. What's up? Happy, what day are we on? Monday, Tuesday. It's trash day. Happy Tuesday, y'all. All right, let's get into it. OGs, non-OGs, One Love. Right, guys? Because this is important. People didn't know her body was found. Her body was absolutely found. And it's now identified due to the autopsy being released. That being said, let's get into it, guys. And here we go. Right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. You're hearing it from the news people that got the autopsy results first.
Some new details into News 19 regarding 39-year-old Elena Moore. She was initially reported missing in Irmo, and now law enforcement is giving us some more details. The Lexington County Coroner says a preliminary autopsy found no signs of trauma to Elena Moore's body, including no gunshot wounds, no stab wounds, strangulation, blunt force trauma, or other kind of external injuries. None of that. Investigators, though, have not determined a cause of death. Moore disappeared earlier in the month. Her body was found last Wednesday. The coroner says toxicology testing, medical record reviews, and additional studies are still underway. Some more updates to come.
So, guys, she is identified. Some people, first of all, didn't even know that she was found. So, Elena Moore was found. She has been identified. The autopsy has been released. We're going to go over that. And, guys, just think about this. At the very top of the hour, think about how suspicious it is that there's nothing to show. She fell off of a what? We don't know if she fell or was pushed or how she got where she got. I ask you, was she lured to her death? And the reason I ask that is because, guys, there's no bruising on her. There's no strangulations. We don't even see needle marks on her. Not a thing. We're going to talk about that as well. How do you have no external injuries from a 10 to 12-foot fall and then die? Literally. And guess what, guys? She also was already decomping right away. It set in. She was outside. Guys, there's 111 people. Say a prayer on your way in that we get answers and the justice that Elena deserves. We don't want this case to be a Micah Miller or another Lauren DeMolo case where Lauren DeMolo just allegedly walked off and disappeared. Happy Tuesday, Carrie. Good to see you. Sleuthy sweetheart. Always a pleasure. All right. Well, guess what? I don't know about any of the pushing, but why the hell did Elena go there and what was in between all that missing time now that we have more of a timeline? That's what we're going to get into. All right. Nancy Guthrie is still out there. We still want justice for her. All right. Everybody's talking about that note that came out yesterday, but they're talking about it today because I caught it yesterday and I caught it that it was incorrect. So that's why Coffee and Dog Studios, if you're here, that's what I was telling you and anyone else. I feel free to come in my chat and say, Jay, your title says this. Why? Do it respectfully, and I'll be happy to explain my titles to y'all. All right, let's go. Let's get into this. Her body was found. She's been identified, and you heard it here now first before we get into anything further.
We're now
all right, that's all the news we get there, which is fine, because what I'm going to do here real quick, thank you to Tiff. Big hugs to you, Clark, my friend. I sent you a text message earlier. Love you, girl. Love you. We got to talk. Missed you too. And I did hear it from the grapevine while you were not here. So everybody say prayers for Clark. I'm never going to tell anyone any business, but shout out and thank you for the $10 super chat. It helps so much more than you know. You know, I got to thank you. Thank you a lot, Clark. And someone sent me $5 for snacks for Baby Guilty. Guys, thank you. I appreciate that. I shit you not. By the end of this summer, that girl's going to be 1.5 inches to 2 inches taller than me. She is just growing like a weed. Summertime's treating her well. All right. She eats a lot, sleeps a lot, hangs out a lot, goes to the pool a lot, and she grows a lot. So thank you guys. Coffee and Dog, shout out to you. Nikki, good to see you. This is Nikki B, not the OG. All right. So listen, I have a chart that we're going to go over, but first let's just go off the top of this. Justice for Elena Moore. Autopsy findings show that a preliminary autopsy has not determined a cause of death. So we have no COD. Investigators report that no obvious external injuries, including no signs of gunshot wounds, stab wounds, strangulation, bruising, or any other trauma. Now, toxicology testing, microscopic tissue analysis, and a review of her medical history are still pending. We know that she had mental health issues and she took pills in the past and maybe in the present. We don't know. We don't know what we're going to find in that yet. Now, the investigation status remains very active and is being assisted by South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. The police have stated that Elena's husband, Brandon Slice, is not considered a suspect or a person of interest at this time. Authorities have not announced any evidence of foul play, but they also have not ruled anything out while waiting for the forensic results. Okay, so basically what we're getting in this autopsy is that it's Elena Moore that's died. She's dead. We don't know how. That's what we have thus far. And there's no visible trauma to say that she fell down and broke her neck or fell down and hit her head or somebody hit her with a rock. I mean, we can name 1,000 scenarios that didn't happen. Okay? that simply didn't happen. Now, when I say justice for, or what happened to Elena, justice for her, notice her husband's pictures, right? There's her husband, and that's the last picture that I saw of them together. But let me put something, let me just put a little feelers out there for you guys. All right. I just told you police are not naming him as a person of interest whatsoever. But what did we see? And why did she disappear? It doesn't appear that Elena wanted it does appear, that Elena Moore wanted everyone to know how unhappy she was in her marriage. Perhaps this was a cry for help. I'm finally free and safe, quote unquote. This is Elena's side of the story. Forget about what everyone else has to say. And now you're going to forget about that. You're going to listen to Jay, story time with Jay, and the text messages that she was sending behind the scenes. So now we're seeing directly from her mouth how she feels, what she was thinking, what was going on. Now, don't think that I don't have on my radar other people that knew her, a friend that wanted to talk about what happened, several friends doing different interviews at different times. Guys, I brought the receipts, all right? Brought the receipts, and we're getting into it. So take your slate. Let's wipe it clean. Let's take a look at these receipts that came from her directly. And then we'll get into even more. If you're late, it's all good. You're still here. Let me just fill you in on the background real quick. All right. Big hugs. Prayers for MM Clark, Lady for Justice. Love you, girl. I don't know. Keep throwing possibilities out there because, listen, right now, we're going to get into all of that. And once I go over this actual autopsy finding and the medical chart and how the world sees it, you might think a little different. I am not going to quit with the receipts, okay? I came with the receipts. You can never say I didn't. Just saying. Nikki, you're having a heat wave in the UK? No, 39 on Thursday, which is a scorcher. Well, I think you guys go on Celsius, so I don't know what 39 means. Well, let me know in chat. All right, Mo, good to see you. One love, always a pleasure. All right, listen, real quick, if you guys don't know anything about this case, you probably do, but just quickly, because it's been kind of scrambled up. Elena Moore, the woman you see on this camera, on the screen, she was last seen leaving Planet Fitness in Lexington, South Carolina on June 11th, 2026, right? That's 12 days ago. Her body was found in a nearby wooded area on June 17th, 2026. That's 6 days later. Preliminary autopsy has been done, and we now know it is Elena Moore. However, there is no evidence of a traumatic injury like breaking your neck when you fall off of a bridge, your husband hitting you with a rock, pushing you off of a cliff. None of those things are apparent. It's as if she just laid down and went to sleep face down in that area. Now, there's a lot of questions also. Why didn't people see her during that initial search? She was right where she left from, like she was in the same vicinity. Now, she was not reported missing, guys, until June 12th, the following day by her husband. Investigators then released surveillance images. Guys, you know the drill with those. There were two of them. One where she was walking into the Publix parking lot on Cherokee Road. Guys, that's where she was ultimately found, on the 400 block of Old Cherokee Road. And she was last seen on the 100th block of Old Cherokee Road. Are you seeing what I'm saying here? That was last seen on June 11th at 9:17 p.m. But 911 didn't hear about it until June 12th around noon. And they weren't discovering her body until June 17th in a wooded area on the 400 block of Old Cherokee Road, right after police received a tip. Now the county coroner's official later confirmed this is, in fact, Elena Moore. No further information will be released by Lexington Coroner's Office until all pending studies have been completed and the pathologists have determined the freaking cause of death and whether it was a homicide or not. Guys, it could be an undetermined. It could be self-inflicted. We don't know. We don't know. We do know Elena Moore was 39 years old and she just disappeared. All right, let's continue. You'll get filled in later. There she is in her conversations. Forget everything you heard just for a second and listen here. Listen to the things she posted and talked about. And people say she wasn't happy in her marriage. She says, I don't want to hate you. Remember, she was only married for a year or so, although they were together for many. She says, I don't want to hate you, but how could I not? You knew exactly what you were doing to me the entire time. You watched me love you with everything I had, watched me trust you blindly, watched me destroy myself trying to keep us alive, and still you chose to hurt me anyway. Do you understand how cruel that is? Now, all I feel is the exhausting hatred sitting inside my chest because of you. I never wanted to become this person. I never wanted to look at someone I once loved with disgust and resentment. But you turned my love into something painful, something heavy, something I now have to deal with, or I now have to heal from every single day. I hate what you did to me. I hate the memories that you won't leave me alone. And more than anything, I hate that a part of me still mourns the person that I thought you were. All right. And then here we go. That's her post. Somebody commented, skin, hair, nails. The memories are in the trash. And I stopped loving him a long time ago. That must be her. I didn't even put the two and two together. That's in the comments. She posted, it's on there 2 weeks ago. Skin, hair, nails, fitness. The memories are in the trash. And I stopped loving him a long time ago. I was looking for a way out when I realized I was in the relationship with the devil. This is what she's saying. Then underneath Elena, it says hair, skin puts a heart for what she did. So that's her talking, guys. I bet you didn't know about any of this, right? Like I said, forget everything you know about this case and listen up. It's story time with Jay from Guilty of Crime. Foxy Amazon, thank you so much for the gifted membership. If you receive that membership, please thank Foxy. Anyone else wants to help to support Guilty of Crime, please do so. If you don't have the means, it's free to hit the like button, subscribe, share, and hype. Thank you. And Foxy, we know, in honor of your brother, if you want to put that in chat, that'd be awesome. Her brother was gone way too soon. Melissa, I'm glad to see you. Gonna shower and stuff and visit with the twins. Well, one step closer, baby. One step closer. You got it. All right. Yeah. I like that. I like being able to, hashtag where's Steve? Go get Steve. Go get him. We don't want any Steves here. All right. What's up, Mab, my guy? Good to see you guys. All right. So Elena is telling the world, I hate this man. I don't want to, but here's what I become. Okay, here we go. Here she is again. And she wanted everybody to know. So I'm letting you guys, the 170 people, know the war is over. You are no longer my first thought in the morning, nor the last thought at night. You are not in my heart anymore or on my mind. And I don't think about you like I used to. It doesn't hurt anymore. There's no love left. Not even any empathy. It took time and I struggled, but I got through it. And now I'm genuinely happy that you're out of my life. I remember you as something I went through, not something I wish for anymore. I do not wish for things to work. I'm glad they're over. I don't check my phone hoping it's you. Instead, I feel relieved that it isn't. My days pass calmly. Not filled with anxiety. I used to feel when I was with you. I don't miss you. I don't wonder about you, and I don't look for you in anything anymore. Letting you go was the best thing I did for myself, and for the first time in a long time, I'm truly happy and at peace without you. Everything feels lighter, like a weight I carried for so long is finally gone. I feel free now. Like I can breathe properly again. Like I'm not tied down to something that was hurting me. I'm moving forward without looking back. And for the first time in a long time, I feel at peace with it. This was 2 weeks ago. The girl that might get an autopsy and a cause of death that says she took her own life. All right. So, yes, thank you guys for cleaning that slate and just hearing me out. She says 100%. I am finally free and safe. What is she free and safe from? I ask you guys. What man was she with recently on Easter? What man did she marry? What man was she with for the last, 12, 13 years? Go back to episode 1 if you guys want to dive deeper into their relationship. I hope one day that you can stand in front of a mirror and cannot look away from the truth that what you did to me was not just wrong, it was cruel. You were never real with me. So at least be real with yourself, because somewhere deep inside, you know exactly how bad you broke me. I hope in the middle of your busiest days, when life feels fine, you close your eyes and it all comes back to you. The lies, the betrayal, the way you made me feel so small while I was loving you with everything that I had. I hope my love stays with you like a quiet curse, not loud enough to ruin you, but heavy enough that you can never escape it. And I, one day, hope in some quiet moment, you feel even a fraction of the emptiness that you left inside of me when you let me go like I was nothing at all. She goes on, 2 weeks ago, guys. That's the author. 2 and 2. It doesn't take a detective to put this together. Amen. She's free by the grace of God. That's what I read. All right. Elena wanted us to know. And this is Rose Lulu. Shout out to her for the post and the messages. When I say her, Elena's social media is wide open, my friends. It was wide open. Then here I was looking for a way out when I realized I was in a relationship with the devil. Elena Moore. Love and repost. All right. I want you guys to understand where we're coming from here in this case and what I'm starting to think about and what's happening. She was absolutely 100% in her right mind, but people are saying the opposite. People are saying, yeah, you guys hear what I'm saying? Were you at the very beginning of this episode where I said 60-40? 60% are saying her husband had nothing to do with it. He did nothing wrong. He loved her. He was blah, 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 right? Blah, 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 blah. Did you just hear what I said? Did anyone hear what I just said? All right. Now, I'm going to put this up. I'm going to read it to you real quick, and then I'm going to play a clip, and then we're going to get back into the autopsy findings because I have to read some more. All right. Elena Moore's friend breaks her silence with cryptic messages, but lots of other interviews are coming. All right. This is called a friend fracture, and I'm just going to quickly run through this. I really want you guys to understand her perspective, Elena's perspective, not her husband selling these stories to people that he's devastated and he didn't call 911 he didn't call law enforcement till the next day because, she did that a lot, right? Probably implicating that she was out cheating and being a whore, by the way. Golden Hen, thank you so much for the $1.99. You can feel her pain. I can. I know many of you can too. How many people can feel her pain? Throw up a 1 if you feel her pain. Most of you will. Flojo, shout out to you. I love that I don't even have to ask the mods anymore. They just love Flojo and they drop that link like it's hot. All right. Thank you. Good to see you, dark scale creatures. Yeah, man. Who doesn't feel that? I mean, that's the biggest hurt. She told her friend she was scared but didn't follow up about it. Yeah, but what happened to her in between? Thank you guys for showing love and dropping those 1s and the big hugs. Big hugs to Rhonda. Shout out to you. All right. Thank you guys. That was very powerful. I agree. I agree. You guys gotta understand and feel me. That's like that first relationship type of hurt. All right, let's continue. Family and friends of the personal trainer, Elena Moore, have shared a cryptic message about her death after her autopsy gave us no answers. We got some answers, and I'll get into that next. I'm reading this too. I'm not listening to that damn music. I just can't do it, guys. All right. Moore was found a week after she was last seen leaving Planet Fitness on June 11th. No COD yet. She was captured on surveillance at Publix 9:17 p.m. on the day she vanished. Again, mind you, on only blocks away her body was found. She was reported missing by her husband the next day, June 12th, and it was discovered in a wooded area. She vanished. People claim to be friends with Moore have raised concerns about her behavior prior to the disappearance. Yet a new post seemingly made on behalf of the family, a friend hinted that they all have their own story to tell. Lee Snell, a close friend, shared a statement on Sunday saying all are deeply saddened and distressed. There's her husband. Snell says her husband was the one who officiated the wedding of her and Moore and Brandon in 2024. The details surrounding the situation are forthcoming. Please respect Brandon's privacy at this time. She wrote in a Facebook post. There they are again. Elena has a story, and Brandon wants to share it when the time's appropriate, to do so in hopes of helping others. Snell asked that Moore's friends Sandra Rochelle Campbell to cease and desist from contacting Brandon. Remember, guys, there are people talking. He literally asked for a cease and desist from the lady in the last episode that told us that Elena Moore was scared and she was pointing fingers. This mother trucker's acting for a cease and desist from telling news outlets her stories. Why? Why would you ever do that? If you have nothing to hide, let it go. That doesn't seem so. It seems like he was a control freak. He wanted the power all the time. He seemed like I think he's older than her. She's 39, and I know I can't tell you right now his age, but he's older than her. All right, let's continue. This man, it gets deeper and deeper. Campbell spoke with several media outlets detailing her last conversation and her suspicions of foul play. I think my friend was struggling with her life or for her life. I think she was literally afraid for her life. That's what she told News Nation. She also said she believed there were some red flags and claimed Moore was having marital problems. Thank God she said something. Investigators said on June 12th that they did not have a suspect, or they did not suspect foul play, and said Slice was not a person of interest at the current moment. Guys, this just came out hours ago, and I gotta tell you, law enforcement is telling us untruths like they did in the David and Celeste case, so that we leave that man alone and nothing comes out, or something. There's a reason. There's no other reason. And remember that husband of hers has law enforcement in his pocket. If you go back to the last episode, I told you how many years he was with the law enforcement department in that area. 14 years prior. 4 misconducts, and then he went to a private eye, and the private eye is controlling the narrative. Guys, please go back and watch episode 1 if you need to be filled in on this information. All right, please. This mother trucker, I'm an OG. I don't want to cuss. Sometimes I do. That's their parking lot. It was literally right behind the parking lot. They showed the picture where she passed the Publix, and her body was found just 6 days later. Right there where they were already searching. Make that make sense. Deb, please play devil's advocate. I'm going to be devil's advocate. Some women embellish their problems at home because they want a sympathetic ear from friends. I've seen it happen, but I'd feel her husband is heavily involved. Thank you, Deb. I love devil's advocates. I'm normally the devil's advocate. Good to see you, Miss Kelsey. Good to see you. You're local in the area. Elena and I share some of the same friends. And even her close friends think something is way wrong. Well, Miss Kelsey, anything that you'd like to share with me, that you want me to share, feel free to send me an email. I'd love to hear more. And prayers to you and your friends that knew her. I don't know how much you knew her, but it's all the same. It doesn't matter. One of my friends, I didn't realize, guys, I gotta tell you because let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you my story that just happened yesterday, last freaking night. The friend who says Elena was afraid for her life also couldn't get her story straight. First, she said she was fidgety at brunch and kept getting up to look at the window. Then says she was herself. Yeah, that's why we're going to dig into this, guys. I'm going to tell you something. She had already been committed. We're going to talk about that. She was in the mental health facility. What's up, Kimberly? Thank you, Indy. I'll leave that pinned. But let me tell you a quick story. I'm even going to show you a personal picture because they're never going to see this, and it probably made it in the news anyway. You see these people right here? Those people are my personal friends, like family. All right. You guys know that we have a second home in Napa. So we keep in contact through social media and when we see each other in Napa. So I go on my social media to check out my friends and say hi. And I see rest in peace, Mike. You see that guy? That's Mike. Last time we saw him was last summer when he asked me to borrow my golf cart. He offered generously to put gas in it and tune it up and all that, right? We hung out, we played pool, we swam. He's been with my friend for 6 years. I saw her go through a breakup of a marriage with 2 kids and get pregnant and lose the baby twice. Well, guess what? 3 weeks ago, they were together 6 years, and he took a gun out and he pointed it to her head in front of her children, and he said, "I'm going to kill you first, and then I'm going to kill myself in front of your children so that we can both die together." Okay? Somehow she talked him out of it. And said, "Please don't take my life. Please. My mother here, you don't know what that's going to do to me." So instead, she talked him out of it, and he shot himself right there in the presence of those kids and her. I didn't even know. All I saw was rest in peace, Mike. Thank you for choosing the way out, the better way out. What the frick? Yes. I heard this last night at 10 o'clock. How is that? How can that happen? That's true. I agree with that, Alex. She wrote, could be a setup to build self-evidence of hysteria. Okay, now, if I find an article on this, I promise I will share it with you. These are my friends that I've known for years that Reese swims with their children and plays with their children, and we borrow golf carts and we have barbecues. What the fuck happened? Last time we saw him, he was all, "Love you guys. Can't wait to see you next summer." Where does this stuff come from? I don't know. I really don't know. All right. You don't know. That's why I call it fake book, Mab. Now let's continue. This is like, it feels like another case, to be honest with you. And now I want to know more. All right. So luckily I didn't get a message saying that it was a mass self-deletion. He could have killed her children, her and himself, but she talked him out of it. And instead he just took his own life in front of them all. All right. So, I just want you guys to understand, just say a prayer in general for thank you. I definitely don't do this to get sympathy. I do this to tell you none of us knows what's going on behind the scenes. And when someone is reaching out for help, whether it's attention or not, you gotta listen. Yeah, I'm just saying, does that out to do with the case? I'm not sure what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, what did that have to do in the case? Was Elena hearing voices? Was Elena equivalent to the man Mike that I just showed you? Was she the person that was wanting to do that? Or was he the one? How would we know what happened if that would have happened? Would we have ever known? Or would we just found a dead family, all 4 of them? All right. I'm going to leave that up, MP Jotry. Okay. Thank you guys for the prayers. I appreciate them. It is horrible. And I don't even have words for it other than to tell you what happened. And I don't know exactly still what transpired prior to that. Nobody knows. Now, South Carolina woman was found dead after leaving gym. She had no apparent traumatic injuries, coroner said. This is the official report. Autopsy was done this Saturday. Elena Moore, 39, vanished June 11th. Her body was found Wednesday near the gym she was leaving. 6 days later, and mind you, just a few, maybe 100 feet away. The autopsy didn't identify an immediate cause of death for a South Carolina woman who was found dead last week after she left the gym. The autopsy was conducted on Saturday at the Medical University of South Carolina, 3 days after her body was found. Lexington Coroner Margaret Fisher said an examination found no evidence of traumatic injury, including, guys, mind you, she off a bridge 10 to 12 feet off. Whether she walked off, fell off, threw herself off, there's no bruising. There's no lacerations. There's no gunshot wounds. There's no stab wounds. There's no blunt force trauma, no strangulation, and no other external injuries. It's like if she was just sleeping and never got back up. Additional studies about Moore's medical history and toxicology tests are required. That's going to come soon. Moore, 39, was last seen Planet Fitness June 11th, body found Wednesday last week. Not far from where she was last seen, which is odd because they had giant search parties that were right there and they didn't find her. Now, Lexington Police Chief Terrence Green said at the time that the media coverage of the missing persons case helped lead to tip that ended with her body being found. But I also want you to know, guys, on June 12th, police posted a missing persons flyer on Facebook. Authorities said Moore had quite frequently visited Planet Fitness and gone to the gym. After she left, Moore was last seen walking towards that wooded area where she was ultimately found. Now, mind you, I want to remind you that Lexington police are that's a police department that her husband worked with for 14 years. Okay? 14 years. So does he have law enforcement in his pocket? Yes. SLED is now investigating this case. Does he have SLED in his pocket? I'm going to say no. So when I say he has law enforcement in his pocket, I mean his buddies are Lexington police officers. His private eye that he's got on the case that's super biased is his friend. All right? Let's continue. This is terrible, guys. Like, this just doesn't even make sense. Not one single bit. All right, I'm going to go over, I have a lot of reading to do today. I guess, let me just show you some of the autopsy findings that were compiled. Mental illness is an epidemic in this country. In Golden Hen, I couldn't have said that better. It all comes down to mental illness. When there's no signs of this, or there's signs, right? He's an alcoholic. He's an abuser. He's a this, he's a that. You're right. When I tell you guys that our children need mental health more than ever, when I say mental health, it's like you need to go check on your children's mental health as much as you do their teeth and their physicals and their eyes and everything. You need to treat their body, their mental health, like you treat their teeth, their braces, their eyes. Please. I don't think people know that. Mental health is a real thing. All right? There's so many children killing their moms and moms killing their kids more than ever. Right? So many of our parents were on Valium. It's a different time, Gen X. It's a way different time. This is not the same life that we grew up in. We did not have access to instantaneous gratification of everything and anything that we could want to look up and be desensitized to gore and porn. We didn't have that. All right? We didn't. Thank you, Cuff You, for speaking out. My son is schizophrenic and he's 37. His battles are horrific and I have been afraid many times. Prayers to you, Cuff You. Mental illness is real. Trauma's real. All of it is real. All right? different times. That's all I have to say. Thank you, Holly. And thank you, Golden Hen. I always appreciate you for supporting the channel. Yeah, we had magazines, and we didn't get a new magazine until the following month. And I've told you guys my magazine stories. I loved magazines. I lived to read. I read. When my brother was playing that Nintendo, because we only had enough for one. Back in the day, you only had one TV, one game system. He never shared it with me. Magazines. I lived this world through magazines, but you only got it once a month, like your period. You didn't get every single minute. I bet you if I went on to YouTube right now and I Google something about Elena Moore, there's going to be a new thing that just pops up. All right, it just keeps happening again and again. Yeah, teen magazine. Oh my God, one time in a teen magazine, the first time I had discovered even what gay was, I read one of those magazines for teens, and I was at my aunt's house during the summer, and there was a girl taking another girl to prom. I think I was 13 or 14 when I went to, how old was I, Mom, when I went to Colorado for the couple weeks in the summer? I saw this article about two women going to the prom together, and I was like, wait a minute, wait, what? I didn't even know what gay was. I didn't know what the feelings meant. I couldn't look it up. I had to wait until the next article came out about something that was gay, and it didn't, because nothing in the media came up until Roseanne had an on-person kiss with another lady. Nobody talked about gays or bisexual or trans or any of that. It was all bottled up. We're in a different society, guys. What's up, Mr. Alex, cooking with Mr. Good Looking? He's still looking for his lady. Okay, 13, Mom. Okay, so 13, I still didn't know about. I had nothing. I was very naive. I was into reading magazines, horror movies, playing on that, riding my bike. I didn't get to do any of that. I didn't have to do any of that, right? These kids have to. They're exposed to it, guys. I was looking something up. I shit you not. Yesterday, I was watching a documentary about a gentleman who was gay for pay, made a ton of money being gay for pay. Nobody knew that he was being gay for pay, which means in real life, he dated women. On screen, he was a porn star with men. When they found out, when a man tried to say, hey, I'm going to pay you and you're going to have sex with me and you're going to get paid or I'll expose you, he murdered him, went to prison, and 20 years later, he's now a transgender. He killed a guy for saying that insinuating he was gay. He was in the gay porn industry, and 20 years later, he identifies himself as a female. What? We need more. It's Pride Month. We need more stories like that, I think. All right. And I only bring up mental health and gayness because that's a problem we have as well. I love you guys. All right, let's quickly look at this. Thank you so much, Cuff You, for putting this together. I know that we have a lack of information, but you did with what you had. Thank you. The forensic autopsy findings from June 20th. All right, reported and released June 22nd. Guys, the investigating agency is SLED. It's not going to be their local law enforcement that would be way too biased. All right. And I appreciate you again, Cuff You. All right. So this is just a document that we'll put together. We'll run through real quick. She was 39 years old, Elena, personal trainer, reported missing June 12th by her husband, found dead, body discovered June 17th in wooded area, 400 block of Old Cherokee Road, last seen on 100 block of Old Cherokee Road 6 days prior. Identity was not identified until June 20th by Lexington Coroner's Office. Some people didn't know we even found her body, let alone that she was identified. She's now been identified. Performing authority, Lexington County Coroner's Office, Margaret Fisher. I hope she's not biased. All right. Autopsy, forensic autopsy, facility, medical university, MUSC. We see that the 20th coming out on the 22nd, releasing official by Coroner Margaret Fisher. Now we know when the next report comes out by Margaret Fisher, we hope that she reports very non-biased. All right. So, I mean, we're not going to go over all this because you guys know that we'll probably go over this again. June 4th to 5th is when she went missing. June 11th through 12th is when she was last seen on the 11th at 9:17. June 12th, Moore's husband reported her missing. All right. From Planet Fitness. I don't even know that he called 911. Did we hear a 911 call, my friends? Let me know. That always gives it away. June 17th, 6 days later, from a tip, 400 block of Old Cherokee Road, only 300 block. I don't even know how big those blocks are, but three blocks away, so to speak. All right, I'm not sure how it runs there. Okay, and anything else, guys? I'm visual, so I appreciate this report. I really do. You have no idea how I appreciate visual stuff. Kimberly says most of the gay couples that I know are in great long-term relationships and have very successful lives. Yeah, but we didn't have that data when I was growing up. When I was growing up, you would get it beat up for being gay. No one wanted to hang out with gay people. I didn't even come out that I was gay until I was 19 years old. I dated the cutest boys, the cutest guys. I found the hottest guys and made them my boyfriend. Guys, I wasn't like I am now. All right. So just because I'm confident and all grown up at 46, that's not how I acted when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, even 20. All right. Damn, that sucks. They should shut her Facebook. Maybe not. All right. So I love this. I love this right here. Nothing's been identified, guys. You see that. Bruises, lacerations, gunshot wounds, stab wounds, blunt force trauma, strangler, ligatation, other externals. There's nothing. All right. The complete external examination produced no positive findings across all standard traumatic injury categories. No physical evidence of homicidal violence, accidental mechanical trauma, or self-inflicted injury was detected. Guys, nothing. So we got to wait for the toxicology. The external examination alone is insufficient to establish cause or manner of death. Findings are consistent with a range of natural, accidental, and undetermined causes pending completion of ancillary studies. All right. Internal examination per publicity reporting as June 23rd. No details from internal examination. All right. SLED, no immediate cause of death. Pending analysis. I'm not going to read all of this, but boy, is this helpful to come back to when we do get to what happened. All right. So everything's pending. Traumatic injury, homicidal. Was it self-inflicted? We don't know. It's active. SLED's taking it, and it's a negative on the external. We have no idea. Versus somebody like Celeste Rivas Hernandez, right? Well, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, oh, we saw that right away. Golden Hen's got something to say. Unfortunately, a husband can commit their wife. I bet he drove her to have this breakdown. Then he commits her, perhaps after psychological abuse. Then she gets out. No wonder she is lost mentally, emotionally, and physically. I think so too, Golden Hen. And I think that law enforcement is 110% biased, and that's why SLED took over. There's no way you can rule out her husband when nothing's even been determined as a cause of death. Screw you to anyone that can determine that. All right. Thank you for that also as well. It's very helpful for the channel. Appreciate it a lot. Right. And I love the chat going. You can tell your gay stories in chat. We do got to do we do got to cover something like that though during Pride Month. We definitely, I know Foxy I haven't seen it. Did you message me something, Foxy? Just curious if you messaged me anything about the case we were talking about. All right, let me show you the area real quick, just because there was where they were searching. Well, actually, that was the search. I kind of wanted to show you where she was found. But I think that we'll probably end up doubling back around to that. All right, let's just continue. Oh, let me just show you the area, but we're not going to watch this. We're not going to watch the whole damn thing. I just want you to see where about. Because I don't know if you guys saw episode 1. Okay, here it is. This is only 34 seconds. I can't play this one. I can't use that creator. All right, hold on real quick. Sorry, guys. All right. I'll use this creator. I can't. There's certain creators I just can't do it. I gotta stick to my guns, and I can't. Nope. Not even an apology will help sometimes. All right, so right here, I just wanted you to see where she was found. They've got flowers by the side of the road for her. That's where she was found, down there, right there. And I showed you yesterday the actual spot. There was lividity had come in, and so there was some fluids. There was maggots. There was bugs, all of that. I'm going to make it bigger so you can see the area. And also take this in as you watch it. Take it in that she has no trauma to the outside of her body whatsoever. Not a scratch.
For you, baby girl.
That's the thing, is we don't have a motive because we haven't heard about this story yet. It just came out when we barely found the body, and we're finally picking up pieces. All right. Her husband had, and I appreciate people like you that just said, what's the motive? And then Terry saying her husband had a hand in this. You'll never change my mind. I love having everybody in here that can agree to disagree. Right? Remember, we haven't even got, all I told you was about the autopsy. I haven't even told you, was she lured out there and why? I haven't even got to that yet. And the mystery deepens after the video shows her and all the disturbing details. So let me get to that, and then we'll get to that. We'll get to try to answer questions. Shout out to Patriot Pride, by the way. It was actually right there where they marked it, and you could see there's like a spot where she was just laying, like if she was dead, if she were dead. Again, shout out to, she was 39 years old. Shout out to Patriot Pride and MAB. If you guys can drop their links, that would be awesome. Well, we don't even know who, what, when, where, and why. At this time, it just looks like she walked off a bridge and went to sleep and never woke up again. So we don't know. All right. So here's what we're going to do together. All right. Mystery deepens. I want you to see what the public's saying. And the public I'm sharing right now is Reddit. All right. They bring a lot of stuff. They have a better picture here and just the comments. All right. 2 days ago. And again, you guys know how Daily Mail is. Yesterday, we were like, this is for the comments. Mystery deepens after the video shows missing fitness instructor, disturbing final moments revealed. And I want to see what the people are saying. You guys, that's what they're doing. They're absolutely going to check for poison. But what I want to ask you guys is, I'm 46 and I never just fell off a bridge and died. She was 39 too. Where blunt force trauma? That's what we're saying, Alex. That's exactly what we're saying. Was she lured to her death? What really happened? All right. I'm going to read a few comments and then we're going to get into that. I know you guys are impatiently waiting. All right. So there's her and her husband. He looks about 10 years older than her. Correct me if I'm wrong, ladies in chat. Please tell me how old he is. I don't have it in the documents. I wasn't focused on him today at all. More on what the hell happened. All right. So I just want you guys to show you some of the comments. They say, or it could be a medical issue. My mom started acting like that and was weird and confused out of nowhere. She would know answers to simple questions, and then she would had metastatic brain cancer. All right. So I mean, we never know. We don't know. Maybe she did have something going on in her head, a carotid artery, a brain aneurysm. We don't know. I know, Fabian, and you guys gotta know I'm trying to be like a level. I'm trying to give you guys both sides before I just start poking. All right, I'm showing you why before I get there. I'm 36. You say, oh my goodness. He looks like her dad. Yeah, he looks way older than her, and he reminds me of JP, and this reminds me of Micah Miller. So this one says, I'm sorry about your mama, but I have breast cancer, non-metastatic. I'm loving all the support for one another. All right, I'm just reading some comments. This also happened to my mother. Now, Bland and Boring Jessica says she and her husband were separated, guys, and he used to be deputy for the police station. She was clearly having a mental breakdown with the video footage. This case is going to be interesting. I wonder if she was having a reaction to medications she was taking. All right, and I'll take that a step further. Was she taking medication that he was giving her because he was poisoning her? I've seen this 1,000 times. It's usually women that poison men. I've seen it again and again. That's what I think, she says. All right, listen. This one says, I knew her a long time ago. I haven't seen her in years, but I don't believe that she was mentally disoriented because of a condition she'd had all of her life. Because she was never like that when I knew her. I strongly believe there was something that happened with her brain, maybe a disease or a misdiagnosis and given the wrong medication that caused her body to reject or possibly cause an aneurysm. And I'm putting that out there because my coworker's daughter died at 36 from an aneurysm. She went to her mom's house. She called her mom first and said, Mom, I need migraine medicine. I'm having a migraine and I don't know what to do. Her mom said, come over. Come over. I can help you get rid of the migraine. She came over to get rid of the migraine and she died. She had an aneurysm, 36 years old, no explanation. All right. This person saying, I'm not complaining, detective, but I don't know if they're trying to say I'm not playing detective, but I don't think she was murdered. If she was, they have committed the perfect crime because they're giving the coroner said no traumatic injuries or I don't know. I think they're talking in text of any foul play from an autopsy. Toxicology is being run now. Now, if that comes back with some kind of substance that would kill someone, that's one thing. But I think she was given the wrong medication and it basically shut her brain off to the point where it finally killed her off. Or she could have had a blood clot. Somewhere the blood clot got near the brain, stops oxygen, blood flow to the brain, could disorient somebody till finally it breaks. It's going to kill you. Either way, I can just think about everything that's been said in the media. Everything's been released. Either it's the biggest cover up in God knows how many years for some reason, or it's an unfortunate death for a woman. Either way, a person's dead. That shouldn't be, and we didn't want to see be dead or go missing. I'm sure we'll find out. You'll be informed as to what the cause of death, but I don't know. But I don't think it's foul play. All right, I'm not even going to continue reading this because you guys understand where these people are coming from. Very sad. Live in a condo where it gotten turned around, accidentally tried to enter a neighbor's unit. So I mean something. But I could hear, but it could be a red herring. Yes, Trainer Public. Yes. The walking into the woods appears to be deliberate act by her, but how do we know she didn't do that frequently? And I'm going to take this a step further. How do we know that she wasn't lured out there? All right, now we're going to get into it, guys, okay? If we're going to start talking motives and all that, we're going to do it now. All right, so let's put this up. I've been waiting to share this man. And if you guys look at my description, you'll understand what I do. All right. Huge shout out to Fugitive TV. He's got 26,900 subscribers. He was a fugitive at one point. His story is he was a fugitive, on the run, did his time. Now he's helping other fugitives get locked up. And I like his channel because it goes where I don't go, and he thinks some things out where and I'm visual. I visually come back and which is what I'm going to do to his interview. And he's got the same piercings as I do. So go sub up at Fugitive TV if you haven't already. I'd also love to have him on my channel. And also, listen, Fugitive TV, you have the same exact piercings that I do. If you look at his nose, he's got 2 piercings right on the same place I do. I was like, shout out to this brother. You see my piercings? I got 2 piercings here, then 2 piercings here, but he's got the 2 piercings here. Anyway, shout out to Fugitive TV. I'm not really just shouting him out because of his piercings, but I wanted to just shout him out and point that out. All right. Thank you for the super synth. All right. Did I miss anything? I was in her spot with my ex. He drove me to almost my breaking point. So many women have that. Dogs pull out my lip piercings. My little dogs lick my lip piercings. I gotta not let them because then it's not good. Shout out to Australia from Australia. All right, let's continue. Let's get into this, guys. Now, Fugitive TV, shout out to you. I hope to have you on my panel at some point, and I hope everyone goes and subs up. Let's get in 50,000 subscribers. Let's get Guilty of Crime 50,000. Let's get Flojo, Mab, all the good people. Lots and lots of subs and support.
Notes came back. And there's even more questions.
Yep.
More questions. Not only that, there is a theory that I don't think anybody has either brought up or talked about of maybe why she had this strange behavior.
Oh, I did talk about this. I absolutely went straight to JP and Micah, and straight with her too. I think someone told her to go out to that particular spot where she was. This I absolutely do. And guys, we haven't seen anything yet. Right? We've seen nothing. We haven't seen text messages. We have nothing except the body. That's Elena. That's it.
Could she been a victim of some sort of a phone scam? I'm going to explain everything. Fugitive TV, stay tuned.
All right. And I'm not just talking about a phone scam. He's going there. I'm saying, was she lured?
I've done one video already on Elena Moore. Okay. Elena Moore is the lady who was missing out of Lexington, South Carolina. Now, they did find her body. Okay. And at that time, they didn't say it was her or not. They just said that the body.
Okay. Now we know
her friend Sandra, maybe to talk about what she was talking about. Who knows?
Okay. So right here, I'm going to leave it right here. Her friend Sandra that went on to News Nation got a phone call that day that Elena Moore died, and she didn't answer the phone. Okay, so she feels really bad about that now. My pastor calls me Mish. What's up? All right, let's continue. I want you guys to yeah, but you don't I used to tell my dog the inside of his mouth smelled like worms, but I loved her. Yeah, they do, but you also gotta, that's what I was saying. Maggie, if you didn't watch episode 1 on my channel, please go back and do so. My dogs don't go outside or any of that, and we brush their teeth. So it's okay. They're like kids.
Okay, or brunch. Well, June 4th. Okay, June 4th comes around.
Yes. Okay.
Now, she did.
Now we have to go backwards. Remember, June 11th is when she went missing. June 12th is when her husband called it in. 911. We don't know about that. Or if he just called an officer. We have no idea how they were alerted at this point. Okay. Woo! Almost 2 years. Thank you, my friend. Shout out to you for 23 months.
Elena did call her friend Sandra, maybe to talk about what she was talking about. Who knows? But she did call Sandra. I'm sorry, not. Now, Elena did call her friend Sandra.
Not Sandra.
Maybe to talk about what she was talking about. Who knows? But she did call Sandra. I'm sorry, not Sandra. Sandra. Sandra missed the call. So Sandra missed it. Never heard back from her again. Okay. June 4th was also around the time where she is caught on video knocking on a person's door in an apartment building, picking up the DoorDash order. Okay. Now, the person who lives in an apartment building opens up the DoorDash, thinks Elena, is the DoorDash woman. She's really not. She just picked the order up right after the DoorDash person dropped it off. And she's reading the receipt and everything, and then asks the guy, you know, calls out his name is either Jason, I think it was Jason Moore, which is the same last name as her, but no relation. And she looks like she's about to walk in the house.
And this is why I didn't play any of this before, because if you already knew about it, you knew. And shout out to you, Cuff You, for catching that. So now we do know, and I didn't see the incident report. Is that what I wanted to go over? Okay, let's take a look at the incident report real quick before we do anything. Thank you for reminding me. I took a pic of the incident report as well as being sent that from you, Cuff You. Thank you. The incident report says, and I'm not sure if you're talking about this one or what, her husband actually went into the police department to report her missing. No, didn't leave a trace of a phone call. No 911 evidence. All right. Make that make sense again. Now, reporting officer Walker, this report I clipped from an X. This is the signature officer sergeant says, I was advised that there was an individual in the police department's lobby that wished to file a report for a missing person. Upon arrival, I made contact with the complainant/victim. He stated that his wife, the listed subject, had been released from, and put a plunder over it. I just found it out on X. Thank you, Plunder. On June 11th, prior to 1400 hours, he had provided a cab for the subject, which, see, this sounds like a setup even more. So somebody got her a cab, which stopped. Wait, what? Provided a cab for the subject, which stopped at her request at the, I guess, Planet Fitness area. That was the last time the subject was seen by the cab driver, who had attempted to make contact with her within the store after she had not returned outside. The victim stated that the subject had been known to frequent the area of Planet Fitness and was able to make contact there. A Planet Fitness employee advised the victim that the subject's information had been used to sign into the location. That's the footage we see. At approximately 1838 on the 11th, the day she went missing. After those incidents, no one has had further contact with the subject. Now, mind you, this law enforcement officer is calling her husband a victim, a complainant/victim. Remind you, Officer Walker probably worked with Officer Brandon Slice at some point, since he was there for a whole bunch of 14 years, them knowing him. Again, people don't call 911, the ones that don't want that recording, and you guys know why. I'm going to leave it at that while we continue. Thank you for reminding me, Cuff You. I pulled that out for a reason, because it makes more sense in the case that he didn't call 911. He walked in and probably found one of his buddies and called him in to report her. Check the receipt.
Just wondering about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, guys.
And then, you know, he kind of looks at her and she's like, oh, just the DoorDash, or, you know, and he goes, yeah. And then she kind of looks confused and walks off. But before he opens the door, she's looking over the receipt. She's also breathing really heavy, breathing hard. Yep. You see her chest going, breathing hard, breathing heavy, right? So either she just got finished running, panicking, or something's going on, because she's breathing very hard.
She could have
and she's looking over the receipt. All right. Now, people do say that maybe his name was on the receipt. That's how she knows his name. Possible, right? I never DoorDashed before, and I never really pay attention to the receipt on mine. So you guys let me know if the person's full name is.
It is on there. Let's just shout. You guys know I'm like DoorDash. I should have a DoorDash tattoo on my arm. Isn't her husband former law enforcement and now private investigator? Let's take it a step further, Flojo TV. Her husband is a former law enforcement officer for 14 years and is now a private investigator working at a law firm where his sister runs the law firm, and they have a lot of criminal lawyers there. He's got law enforcement in his pocket, and he's got a private eye in his pocket that's speaking out to News Nation and anyone that will listen to tell people that her husband is the victim of this situation, not the other way. All right. So yes, and yes. And yes, they put your full name on there. So yes, she read John Moore, and then she sounded confused.
On the DoorDash or even Uber receipt. I don't know. I never paid attention to that.
Yes, they do.
She looks at the receipt, studying her receipt, and then I guess, that's how she gets his name. Now, later on, the people who live in that apartment, the wife or the girlfriend comes out, sees Elena again, but now she's shifting through packages at a neighbor's door. Now, this is an apartment building, people. And she had to.
This is all in the same day. We now know she went up a floor and down a floor. At the 319 was obviously the 300 apartment where she was doing the package, and the 419 or 416 is the floor above. So she was wandering around the apartment complex. Now, it makes sense that one of her friends said she was possibly staying with somebody in the apartment complex because they were split up, which makes sense why she was confused. Have you ever gone to visit somebody's house in a complex where they have A and B unit and C and D and G and F and 1238 and and it's so hard to find the damn apartment because they all look the same. All right. A woman named Samantha Josephson in College, South Carolina, was emmed when she accidentally got in a car that wasn't her Uber. I remember this. And there's a new Uber law because of it. That's the Asian woman, right? And was it an Asian student? Oh, Samantha Josephson doesn't sound like it. But I've heard that same exact story with Uber specifically. So maybe I do know it. I don't know. I think she was lured that direction for a reason. Somebody told her to go out there in that area. Why else did she just walk that far and die? Where was she going? Why didn't she get back in the cab?
Go upstairs at that. So now she's shifting through packages at a neighbor's door. The neighbor looks at her and goes, "Do you know the neighbor?" And she goes, "No." She goes, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "I don't know." Now, keeping the words of her saying, "I don't know." Not only that, the neighbor said that she had her phone on her. So basically the way she described it was that she said when she opened up her door, she saw Elena at her neighbor's door going through packages, but also had her phone on her. She said either looked like she was researching or talking to somebody, but she could not tell. But she's looking through packages, I guess, with her phone in her other hand. Now, on the reports, they say her phone was always turned off. Okay, so her phone was always turned off.
And I'm going to read the police. I'm going to show you after this, I'm going to show you the actual incident report, the full incident report with the officer and their indications. And we'll see together how biased or what they're doing in this case. All right, let's continue. Again, we have a lot more questions. I believe she was lured there for a reason. And that makes it even more suspect when I hear that somebody called her a cab to what? But then later her car was found abandoned in that parking lot. What's going on?
We don't know. But this is before she went missing the second time. Yes, folks, the second time. Because around that same time, there's a 911 call from her job from a gym. The 911 call reports her missing around that same time, around the June 4th, June 5th-ish. They report her missing. My whole thing is, when I first heard that, because the media didn't really tell us this, why did her job report her missing for not showing up to work? Usually, a job is going to maybe call your family member.
Now, mind you, the Teppies. I was already on to this. I was like, the Teppies. Guys, we were all over the place with the Teppies, but we didn't first. And I'm going to say we, because I did not see her husband of 7 years prior to be the killer. All right. Remember, in my last episode, I talked to you about how she was called in missing on the 4th and the 5th, a week prior to her going missing. And she was called from her work. Like the Teppies, She didn't show up to work, and her work called and called in a missing persons report. Make sense that she didn't tell her office that she was fearing for her life. Her husband was threatening her. She was in danger. Why else would her job call and report her as a missing person a week prior to her going missing? Make sense. This is what we're talking about right now. I heard she was at Three Rivers from 10 to 11. Husband called about coming to visit her, but she left. I heard the car was at Three Rivers and husband. Yeah, he did. The only part I can verify is he took it from Three Rivers. Everything else I have no idea about. Yep, I'm telling you, go back to my episode 1. I do a side-by-side comparison with those two cases.
Members, significant other, whatever else, right? They don't usually just report you missing. This reminds me of another case that I did. Okay, Spencer and Monique Tepe, the dentist who.
All right, and I like this guy, Fugitive TV. We align many times. I thought I saw him on one of your guys' channels, either Patriot Pride, Mab, or Flojo. Let me know in chat. He seems really like a cool dude. And I'd love to collab with him. There's not very many I'd like to collab with. That being said, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button, drop a comment, interact with the channel. I'm going to gift the membership right now. All right? All right. Deal? Deal.
Along with his wife, was killed in their home. And his the dentist office reported him missing when he didn't show up to work. Not only did they did not just, or I should say, just report him missing, they actually drove to the house. And a lot of people thought that was suspicious. I didn't. I knew who it was right away, did it. But a lot of people were blaming the owner of the dentist office. Maybe he did it for money, all kind of things. And I always said, maybe Spencer, who was a dentist, told somebody at his job or told them, hey, if I don't answer my phone, something's up. Come to find out,
yep, that
is probably the belief that was what happened. Yep. So did she tell somebody at her job, like, if I don't show up to work, something's up? Because she already told Sandra that she feels fears for her life.
She told other.
So she tells somebody at her work that too? Because would you tell one person? Would you tell multiple? And if I don't show up, please, you know.
Now listen, we saw X at the very beginning. We saw her social media posts that say 2 weeks ago, right before she died, that her husband, she's glad they're broken up, and he took her soul, and blah, all that stuff that we read, that we felt that cut deep. She said all that on a social media platform. If she did that, I wonder what she was telling her coworkers, her close friends, her siblings, if she has any, whatever. I do too. That's always my first question. Always a first question. All right. Even if you don't like us, hit that like button, or unlike. You can hit the down button if you don't like us as well. It's all the same.
No, call somebody.
I'm gifting a membership.
Her friend also said that Elena was having issues in the relationship with her husband. Now, they were together for a long time. I think it was like, I don't remember. I don't have the notes in front of me. You guys let me know, 12, 13 years or something like that. But they were only married for 2. But they were going through some relationship issues, allegedly. There's reports that she wasn't even living at the house with him. I don't know. One report that we need to get cleared up is, now, around June 4th, she calls Sandra, right? Sandra doesn't answer the phone. Then next she's seen on a ring cam, looking at an Uber receipt or DoorDash receipt, gives the man food. And then later on that same day, I guess, is going through packages with her phone. Then there's another picture of her at what looks like the same apartment building, but maybe at a different apartment building. There's no glasses on her face. She doesn't have her phone on her face, but this is a different one.
And we came to that conclusion yesterday. Do you remember, or the day before, when I was still in the dark about the timeline? So he's in the dark at this point about that timeline. I'm breaking that down for you. This is the same time frame, just different floors. Now you can see in one, she has her glasses on, and one she doesn't. She's not holding anything. She looks confused. She just went up a floor. Literally, she went up a whole floor from the 300s to the 400s. Yes, in my opinion, very confused. Also, I'm going to point at that as well. I'm trying to stay neutral and let you guys play devil's advocate. I'm glad kids graduated late tonight. Glad I came in. I'm about to gift the membership. Shout out to Oh Yeah. I hope you're doing well. Congratulations on the graduations. All right. Let me drop you a member. Let me gift you a membership. We now know this was the same day on a different floor, fumbling around. She also got reported missing June 4th, June 5th, and then again on June 12th by her husband. Never seen again until her body was found on the 12th. I'm sorry, 6 days later on the 17th.
Different one. They report her missing, her job. Okay. Then from there, she gets admitted into Three Rivers Hospital, mental health hospital.
That too,
she checks herself out of the mental health hospital. All right. And I still haven't seen an actual clear report of who admitted her to Three Rivers. I have seen some people or some reports say she did it herself. I've seen some say the husband, but I haven't seen anything clearly that says who admitted her. But we do know, I guess she admitted herself. Now, HIPAA laws, they probably cannot disclose a lot of things when it comes to health-wise, because that's part of your health, mental health, right? So they probably can't disclose who admitted her. Who knows?
You guys remember?
I haven't seen.
You guys remember how long it took us to figure out that Jen Soto had went into a mental facility right after Maddie died or was murdered? I know, right? That was a prior week though. Before, love all you, Keith. The tipster called in on the 17th. Does anyone know if it was a male or female that claimed to see her in the wooded area? No, I don't know. If anyone in chat knows, I'll leave that up. But I am going to tell you what I do know. Let's continue as I gift the membership.
Anything in concrete of who admitted her. If you guys know something different, you can let me know below. Well, she gets out, and June 11th, 9:17 p.m., she's last seen on surveillance leaving Planet Fitness, then walks towards a wooded area behind a Lowe's store. All right. Now, the wooded area, the way the media was saying, was like you would think it's like this big forest, but it's not. It's just they're doing some development back there, things like that. Now, yeah, you shouldn't be back there walking, but that's where she was last seen. Then it come out footage that she was last seen at Publix. Now, my last video I showed you guys, Publix, Lowe's, and Planet Fitness is almost the same strip mall. Now, it's two different parking lots, but you can walk them, okay? It's not like two different towns or two different cities. Yep. The media, we listen to them, they make it sound like it's two different towns. That's what it's. Oh, now we got to shift the search to Publix. So when you hear that, you're thinking like, we're a whole different town, but it wasn't a whole different town. It's the same little area. It's the same plaza pretty much. Just a little street separates these plazas, okay? They should have been searching the whole area to begin with, not just the plaza on the side.
Yeah, that's weird. Again, she was just found a few 100 feet away from where she went missing. And guys, they had done extensive searches. She was right there at the bottom. And I'm like, did somebody kill her at somewhere else? And then, after she OD'd or whatever the frick happened to her, and then they just dumped her there. And when I say they just dumped her, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but how is that there's no bruising, no kind of contusions, no kind of strangulation marks, nothing to the naked eye. And you would think if someone stuck you with a needle to OD you when you die, I've seen people after death when they have used needles and stuff, you could clearly see the area. You would be able to find that with your eye, by a naked eye. I think you'd be able to find that. All right. Now, again, it could be it could be somewhere else. Who knows? That, on a strategic place. Had an episode. All right.
Street, you would think. So here's something I wanted to show you guys. All right. The apartments that she kept being at was
there it
right
is.
Here. The apartments allegedly.
See, that's what I wanted to do with you, because a lot of you guys missed my first episode, but a lot of you saw it. I think 8,000 people saw it just like last night. All right. So there it is. Thank you, Crazy Jane. I was kind of thinking that too, because it's such a concocted story. It's the perfect crime. If not, you guys, I talked about it earlier. It's a perfect crime. All right. Yeah, I kind of feel like that too, but we'll find out. There's only in our opinion right now, because we don't know. But take a look at I really want you to pay attention to the area and how far away she walked and ultimately where she was found dead. There's a difference between time walked, obviously, time driven. What happened there? That's what we're going to find out. Everything we need to know.
Was right here. Now, this is Lowe's. This is Planet Fitness. Okay, so she was in there working out, checked out, and then started walking They said behind the Lowe's into the wooded area. Now, these are the apartments she kept going to on June 4th.
Does that help you guys?
Then they said the last time they see her was at Publix, meaning she walked from here, okay? Then allegedly, I guess, went into this area back here. Now, like I say, it's not really a heavy wooded area like you would think the news is saying, but this is where she went. Then was seen at Publix. Now, the timeline, okay, it really does not add up a lot.
Nope,
I'm going to tell you right now. She signed in at the gym at 6:40 p.m. She was last seen leaving the gym at 8:30 p.m. Then surveillance caught her at Publix at 9:17 p.m.
And this is why we're going over this thoroughly, to understand what happened with the information that we have thus far. Right? Good to see you guys. I'm so happy. It's such a good day. I got a bunch of new people up in chat. Everyone's being respectful. The Steves are getting kicked before I even see them. Hello, Patty. Welcome to the crime crew. I'm going to be gifting another membership in a bit, guys. So make sure that you're dropping those comments and hitting those like buttons. That'll get you a membership. Had trackers on the car and claimed she was crazy or paranoid, then committed her. That does sound like it's a huge possibility. Let's continue. All right. I think, yeah, the way this lays out, the more it unfolds, the more her husband looks like the last person to have seen her alive before, well, actually the cab driver. So I wonder who she met or why she went that way. I ask again, was she lured there?
Meaning 47 minutes later, they saw her at the Publix. But you know how long it is to walk from Planet Fitness to the Publix?
We don't.
13 minutes. It's only a 13-minute walk, it's showing here. So let's say it took her 15 minutes. Where did the other 30 minutes go to? Was the other 30 minutes her back in here?
Was she on the phone?
Doing whatever? Maybe going back to the apartment building and then coming back? I don't know. But why did everything within a few weeks time span pretty much dwell on this location from the apartment?
Exactly. It's all in one little tiny area, guys. I want you to understand that. Also, yes, we don't know yet. I'm going to go over the incident report so you can see everything, the location and all the stuff that the officers signed off on. And yes, toxicology or microscope dissection will tell you the story, and it will. Pika, I have faith in that. That's what's coming next. All right. I lost my train of thought. Let me go back to this for a minute.
Apartments, Planet Fitness, to Publix, and then she was found down the road over here off of Old Cherokee.
So you guys can see this is all in a small proximity. When you pan out, it was all, she lived there, went there, worked there, right? What I was getting to. They wouldn't tell me the age difference, so I had to look up Brandon. Her husband, Brandon Slice, is 47 years old. He's going to be, it says current age 47 as of June 2026. So he's 47 and she is 39. So he was only 8 years older than her, but that makes a big difference when you go back to like 13 years, right? All right, let's continue.
Cherokee. Now, here's something else that was interesting that needs to be cleared up. Is her vehicle. Now, at first, the news, not just anybody on Facebook, people, the news reported that her vehicle was left in the parking lot of Lowe's, where she was last seen at, and her husband went and got the vehicle. That's what the news reported. Because a lot of people are wondering how she get to Planet Fitness in the first place. She drive? Did she Uber? Did she walk? That's a long walk.
Get a membership, guys.
Now, police came out and said the total opposite. Police came out during a press conference, said the husband always had the vehicle in his possession.
See, you hear this?
So how did she get to Planet Fitness then? That's still a question up in the air. And who's telling the truth?
It's not a question anymore because they talked about that in the incident report. But we have not got we don't have the taxi driver confirming anything. But now we know. And I'm filling in the blanks, not to be a dickhead, but if he were here right now, we'd be talking with each other. So I'm filling in the blanks. They said a taxi. I don't even know if it was an Uber. Are they just saying a taxi or is it an Uber? That's what I'm saying. But that does fill in the blanks on how she got there. We just saw that. They switching up like Sharilla, the Sharilla killer.
Did he always have the vehicle or did he not? Because somebody's lying. Hey, look for yourself. Somebody's not telling the truth. Now, there's also a report that her caller ID, somebody allegedly is going through her caller ID or her phone. All right. And I guess they found something about calls that Elena made the day before. But they still have not told us about these calls. Who are these calls to? How long were these calls? Now, think back to what the lady said, the DoorDash, where she's at her apartment, whatever. When she walked out, she said she was on the phone, but didn't realize if she was talking to somebody or researching or doing something with the packages. All right.
And again, we saw her, guys. The reason that we have this damn receipt is because she stood there for so long and the receipt wasn't even half as big as this. The receipt was like this big and she sat there reading it. She was like, have you ever seen Friday the 13th where Jason still has a bag on his head and he has one eye hole and he's just like very confused? Huh? That's what she was like, breathing hard and confusion. And yes, Shrilla the freaking killer got denied. What does she want again? She's for the second time she's appealed. The second time she's got denied. Guys, you know that you run out of appeals, right? And thank you. Shout out to Flojo for sending that over. Okay.
Before we get into the whole phone thing, like I said in the beginning, phone scam, right? And you're probably thinking like, what do you mean by this phone scam? Watch, it's going to make sense to you. It's going to make sense to you, right? But before we get into that, the autopsy came back today. All right.
Larisha,
the autopsy, which I am going to read to you guys right now. You're going to even have more questions about this autopsy.
I love
this is from News 19. It says Lexington County, South Carolina. Autopsy results have not identified a cause of death for Elena K. Moore, whose body was found last week in a wooded area in Lexington County. All right. So it says it has not found a cause of death. Coroner Margaret Fisher released the findings Monday following a forensic autopsy conducting Saturday, June 20th at Medical University of South Carolina in Charleston. According to the coroner's office, the examination found no evidence of traumatic injury. The autopsy did not identify an immediate cause of death. Examination of the body.
Guys, I want you to understand that this may come out. This may come out. I know we joke and stuff, but this may come out that what we don't want to hear. This may come out as an OD or taking the wrong meds, and it's going to be completely, in my opinion, blamed on her, because unless they can prove that the husband was feeding her pills or feeding her whatever, he went and solidified the deal with law enforcement by going in and filing an incident report the following day, guys. All right. He was in that same law enforcement group for 14 years. Those are his homies. He's got them in his pocket. What are we going to do if the coroner ends up ruling or the medical examiner says there's no foul play in this situation, just an overdose? And there's nothing just about it. But my whole point is we're going to lose our minds. I don't understand family members of loved ones kidnapped or missing, like Tommaso in the Nancy Guthrie case. Brandon won't speak to the media either. I would talk to media if my wife was missing or found dead. Keith, I would talk to the media if my dog was missing. Okay, I would have a freak out moment if my dog was missing for more than 3 minutes. I freak out sometimes. You guys can ask Baby Guilty. I'm running around the house and I can't find one of the dogs because one dog is 2 pounds, the other one's 4 pounds. And every once in a while, they'll just crawl up somewhere and go to sleep. And I'm freaking out. And Baby Guilty's like, Mom, slow down. Did you check inside the bed, under the bed, in the closet? And then we find them. So, yes, Keith, you're absolutely right. But you know what I'm going to do real quick? Let me show you the incident report because I don't want to forget to do that. It's very important. So, mind you, 6/11 is when she went missing, June 11th. Okay. Last seen at 9:17 p.m. that night the day before. I now know, I have this in front of me, that at 9:45 in the morning, her husband bypassed calling 911 or even calling anybody into dispatch that's got to hear him say, my wife's missing. How did he say, my wife's missing? Did he say, my wife's missing? Did he say, my wife's missing and she's been in a haze? Did he say, my wife's missing? We don't know, because we're never going to know, because he walked into the police department at 9:45 a.m. that he worked at for the last 14 years, and he talked to Officer Walker. And Officer Walker took an incident report. All right. On the next day, 9:45 in the morning, Lexington Police Department, where he used to work. Okay. Lexington County, location incident, CVS location description. All right. And they go into Lexington, South Carolina, or blah, blah, blah. I don't want to put anything of his. So it's on. So then there's what they call the victim. Here's the person that's complainant/victim. Okay. So that's what they wrote. Brandon Bobby Slice, and they also put it all over the media, is not a person of interest at this time. All right. White male, 6 foot tall, 255 pounds, bald hair, hazel eyes. Right. We don't want his social security number. We now know he's 47 years old, according to this. So he's 8 years older than Elena, who is 39. Right. You can see that right below. Hopefully I'm sharing this with you. All right. So there you go. There's a complainant/victim. Wait, what? Why did they do that? Why did they call her the suspect? That's weird. I don't understand that. But you guys, Lady for Justice, and some of you guys understand like documentation. Let me know why did they fill it out that way? So he's the complainant/victim and she's the suspect. She's missing. I don't know why they label it that way. Look at the size difference. 6 foot. She's 5'7". Look at how much weight. She's 120 pounds and he's 255 pounds. He is twice her weight plus 15 pounds. He could easily have picked her up and just did anything he wanted. Just saying, in my opinion. All right. All right. So we're seeing the origin. I don't know what the counts mean. 979. Maybe that means missing. Charge description is missing person. So there you go. This is the first time I'm looking at this. I just got it in my mail. I didn't see it earlier. All right. $1. I don't know what that means. They just have to fill it out. No property. No evidence. Nothing. Same thing. Report 979. Missing person. Walker. No properties. No description. Person of suspect. I assume that's the missing person. Elena Catherine Moore. Again, I don't know what they have here. They're calling evidence, but there's nothing. It's just all blank. So it's all blank all the way down to the end, where there's the narrative that I read you earlier by a sergeant that probably worked, Sergeant Walker, with Brandon Slice. I was advised that there was an individual in the police department lobby that wished to file a report for missing person. That's her husband. Upon arrival, I made contact with the complainant/victim. He stated that his wife listed the subject had been released from the mental hospital on June 11th. Guys, this is the perfect crime. He goes straight into the office, doesn't leave any recordings, doesn't call 911, and he tells them that she's been missing since last night after he had a cab for her, or she did. I can't tell because it shows that. And that's the last time he saw her, with the cab driver who attempted to contact her but couldn't. The victim, her husband, then stated that she had been known to frequent the area and was able to make contact there. At Planet Fitness, employee advised the victim that the subject's information had been used to sign in. They got the videos, and that's it. This is all we got. It's a he said, she said. I hope the toxicologist finds something that's going to help get justice for Elena Moore, guys, because that's not good. So far, if he didn't do this, I wish he didn't. I hope he didn't, but I don't know, man.
Revealed no evidence or traumatic injury, including no bruising, lacerations, gunshot wounds, stab wounds, blunt force trauma, strangulation, or other external injuries. As a result, officials said the cause of death remains pending. Additional evaluation is required, including I can't even say this.
All right, we know toxicology. I don't need it. We already read this.
Now remember, the tox results haven't came back yet.
Yeah, we know.
So is it a case of certain medication? Something was given to her?
Did it had to herself? Be.
We don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Now, here's the theories. First theory, she was mentally going through some issues.
Okay, you guys can weigh in.
She was paranoid, thought people were after her, thought people were going to do something to her. And
yeah, but mind you, I got to tell you guys, this is never a easy case when the person that's dead obviously can't talk. And some toxicologist comes along and says, no, she had this in her system and the levels were high, but she had been at the hospital. So there's no foul play. What about Ellen Greenberg? How did she stab herself in the back of the head and in the back a bunch of times while locked inside of her house? They still say that she unalived herself. Maybe they changed it at this point, but is anyone really going to be held responsible for Ellen? Probably not, guys.
Pretty much start going crazy, okay? Which is a possibility. But why would this start all of a sudden? Has she ever been admitted to a mental hospital before? I don't see anybody in the big news media asking that question. Has she ever been admitted before? Has she ever had any mental health issues before? Second theory, which some people are leaning on. I'm not blaming him. I'm not saying it's him, but some people are leaning that the husband could look suspicious. Because if you don't know, he was ex-law enforcement. Now, allegedly, he's an investigator, a private investigator. So if anybody knows how to do something and get away with it, it would be something like him, because he would know what police will look for. He would know what law enforcement will look for. And if he's an investigator or a private investigator, he would know what investigators and detectives will look for. So he would be a person that knows how to do certain things and cover his tracks. And if they allegedly had issues beforehand, what were these issues? How bad were these issues? She said she feared for her life. Was it because of him, or was it because she was paranoid? Guys, there's a third scenario that could be possible that I have not seen anybody mentioned. Could she be a victim of some sort of phone scam? Now, I'm pretty sure you might get ready to turn this channel off right now. Phone scam?
Exactly. I was ready to turn it off too, and I said, nah, we're not. We're talking here about her being lured out, essentially. Sled is only called in for foul play. Well, Sled has been called in, so that's interesting that they say no foul play. Was he following her? How did he know there was a how did he know she went? He ordered a taxi for no reason. What kind of meds was she taking? He was saying the last time he spoke with her, she was leaving a mental hospital in a cab. Why isn't he driving her? What the F? All right, after this, I'm going to show you real quick. We're going to get into the third thing, seeing if she was lured. And then I'm going to show you another friend that spoke up that talked about complete devastation. She opens up also about her relation with Elena. Only problem would be hard to get the body to where she was found without being noticed. Nowhere to park without risking someone seeing you. No trauma on the body, so not tossed. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of problems with this case right now. Lots of problems. All right. Lots and lots of problems. All right, let's listen to what he talks about the phone scam. But
what do you mean a phone scam? I'm pretty sure. But just bear with me real quick. Bear with me.
We are.
For you guys that don't know, there's a lot of different phone scams that go out there. And I'm not just talking about the people that call you from Nigeria, okay, and claim they're going to send you $5,000, you know, or the people that say you owe taxes and you maybe you really don't, you know. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people who can scam you life or death. And you might be thinking, like, what do you mean life or death? What are they gonna get out of it? Sometimes just S's and giggles. Okay. Now, you guys know, just follow me and been watching Beginning Station. I told you guys I was on the run. So while on the run, I got the decency of meeting some people in the underground world. Not only that, when I had to go.
So that he was on the run for years, guys. 222. Let's say a prayer real quickly for Elena Moore, that she gets the justice that she deserves. All right. I'm sure he could carry her. I mean, yeah, all of that is like, there's a lot of other things that are at play here. I know, that's the thing. See, Crazy Jane, that's why I kept going, because I don't need to agree with what he's saying, but I can use it as leverage to bring my point to the forefront. And you guys never see my family, and it's okay. My son's grown. He's grown ass man. I just wanted to show you him and his friend sent me a picture. They're on their way to Shoreline to see Kid Cudi. And I don't ever get pictures of my son. He's got the prettiest green eyes, and his friend's got big boobs, but don't let that distract you. There's my son, guys. Look at him. He's 26 years old. And don't worry, these aren't kids. Eve is probably 27 and he's 26. Mom, you know Eve. She's been around since Christian and since high school. They've been friends since 13, 14 years old, and they're 26. And then they did a goofy one. He'll never know because he doesn't watch my show. Isn't he pretty? Isn't he handsome? He's also single, ladies. Just saying. All right, let's continue. I had to. They never send me pictures. I never get to see that. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. Let's continue. Yes, you've seen pictures of him before, but yeah, he's a grown-ass man. Yes, we are. We're just minutes away from the shoreline, my friend. We're minutes away from the Improv and the shoreline. Yeah. You're in AZ now? Ooh, Pima County? I hope not. All right, let's continue. Yeah, 26 years old, man. It's crazy. All right, let's continue. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, he's way too young. He's 26. I'm just saying. We've all watched him grow up. I was looking at the picture when we got married and how little he was compared to now. All right. Cleanse the palate. 222 again. Guilty of crime. They will never be old enough and will always be your baby boy. I got two 30-year-olds, almost 18, right? Oh, yeah, I've got an 11-year-old and a 26-year-old. I know. All right. This girl was a gym rat. Looked physically in total shape, had some kind of heart condition. I don't know the extent of it, but I don't think she had a cardiac arrest. Keith, I really do hope that she didn't go off and just die all by herself like this, but it just doesn't seem to make sense. Oh, really? That's awesome, Vicky. We always get the hookups too because we have friends that work at Shoreline and they'll let us get up front and stuff like that. And they just do it to get tickets. Cow Palace. Yep. All right, let me read this and we'll get back to it. Sorry, guys. I got thrown off for a second. Ellen's, you're talking about Greenberg. Fiance's, his mom goes way back to Josh Shapiro. PA governor makes me sick that Sam is free. His 911 call is just a joke, sick joke. And you see how much evidence, Larisha, they had? How much evidence they had in that case, and yet there's no foul play. She did it to herself. 44. Shout out to all the kids. My daughter will be 33. What's up, Michael? Good to see you, my friend. All right, let's get past this phone scam, and see what he's talking about. All right.
Go to jail. I got to stay with some people who are in the underground world who do certain things like scam people, who do certain things like spoof phone calls. Now,
yes,
spoofing phone call is you have the technology to call somebody's cell phone. Okay. Let's say, for example, this is just an example. You know a lady named Lisa. You know Lisa's mom's name is Amber. Let's just say you know Lisa's mom's name is Amber. You know Lisa's phone number and you know Lisa's mom's phone number. Who is Amber?
I'm going to start playing that song, Mambo number 5. Angela, a little bit of right? A little bit of Monica in my life. It feels like that's what he's saying. Sorry, guys. Off topic.
You call Lisa's phone, but you spoof your phone number to make it look like it's her mom, Amber. So when you're calling Lisa's phone, Lisa thinks, oh, it's my mom calling me. Hey, mom. It's not really your mom. Now, two things can happen. It could be somebody on the other line, a man, saying, hey, I have your mom, and this is what you need to do, or your mom is going to be terminated or deleted. And then they'll have some recording in the background using AI or something like that. And you might hear her say something in the background, scream, it's kind of muffled, and you're like, oh my God, they got my mom. And then they tell you, if you call the police, we're watching you. We got your phone tapped. You can't call the cops or your mom is going to get it. So what would some people do? Some people won't call. And they're going to think, oh, they got my mom. Now, some people might demand some sort of money. We need you to get some money, send some money here, drop it off here, whatever it is. Some people will do it just for giggles, just to see how far you would go. Don't take my word for it. Do you guys remember the poor lady who lost her life delivering food? You guys remember her?
No.
And we have Elena walking up to the door, following the DoorDash driver.
See, that's what I'm trying to figure out where he's going with this, because I feel like she was lured out there. She was lured to her death. I'm not saying she was lured by scammers. I'm not going with what he's saying, and we haven't even got there yet. But just like 100 people just dropped off right now. They're like, I'm not gonna listen to this shit. But listen, I don't just put a video on and go with whatever they say. I'm down to go against what if I don't feel like it's right. I absolutely feel like this doesn't add up.
Now this poor lady who lost her life delivering food, I'm going to pull her up right now so you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. And then the guy came out with the weapon, pointed it at her, and remember, took her life because they were both victims of a phone scam.
Released body camera video shows officers confronting this Ohio homeowner who allegedly shot and killed an innocent Uber.
Okay, now I remember this. You guys remember the guy in the driveway with the GUN, so to speak? All right. And I do remember this. Thanks, Fugitive TV. But I didn't know there was a scam behind this.
Driver after getting caught up in a phone scam.
He was after blood money.
81-year-old William Brock appearing exasperated and confused as he explained a threatening phone call he says he got earlier that day from a man demanding $12,000.
It's got his name and phone number and what the ransom was.
But the Clark County Sheriff's Office says that phone call was a scam, one that Uber driver Loletha Hall was unknowingly wrapped up in when she was requested through the app to pick up a package at Brock's home. Chilling video from that Uber's dash cam capturing Brock pointing a handgun at Hall as she backs away in terror.
It was an Uber driver. Her name was Loletha Hall. I believe I'm pronouncing her name right. Then it was an 83-year-old man named William Brock. They were both targeted by scammers who called one. So one called him and said the Uber driver at his door was there to rob him. And I believe not only just rob him, but also had like a family member hostage, something like that of that nature. Okay. And then she was scammed because they used her to go to the door.
You know what doesn't make sense? We're going to finish listening to this because I'm using it as my way in to talk about this case. But listen here. The math ain't mathing, all right? We're true crime junkies. We do this every single day, right? When we're not doing it, we're watching it. All right? So hear me out. Two things. One, the week prior, her job called 911 and called her as a missing person. We heard that dispatch. Number two, I'm going to put up her little 2-minute interview that her friend talks about again, her being scared for her life, etc. Number three, if your wife just got out of let me not cuss, just got out of a mental hospital, would you be letting her take an Uber drive and then not call? Not even call. He didn't even not call. He walked into the police department and filed the most basic report that anyone could ever file. The police report basically said nothing. It said she's missing. I'm the victim. I called it in. There. I did my part. Now you can't look at me. Because the suspect is always going to be the first person of interest, no matter what. But there's so many things that just aren't mathing. And when I looked at this phone scam, I'm like, more like her husband playing tricks with her on the phone. Like, hey, meet me out here. We can talk. I don't want to see you in private, but let's meet in public or something like that. Or maybe he scammed her on a dating site. Maybe she was on a dating site and he used an app and it's like, hey, meet here. We don't know. If this is a bad, unfortunate event, I hope we find out. Look up graves. You might find some. Oh, there you go, Janine. I like the name, but I'm not sure I like the tone. Look up graves. You might find some mystery sauce. What? It doesn't, the math ain't mathin'. So, Janine, great name. Don't make me call you Steve.
They made an Uber order and used his address. So they both got set up. So you have this Uber driver coming to the door thinking she's delivering some food, but she's really not delivering food to this guy because it was a scam. Then you have this guy expecting an Uber driver, thinking that she was going to rob him and that she also had like a relative of his captive or something like that. And he can't call the police, so he shows up with the weapon and then fires at her, and the poor lady lost her life. You guys remember the pizza bomber? Who remembers the pizza bomber? The pizza bomber was, this was 2003, okay? Erie, Pennsylvania. This is one of the first reporting incidents of somebody pretty much being used over some sort of a scam, okay? Brian Wells, he was a pizza delivery driver who worked at a Mamma Mia's pizzeria.
You guys remember that documentary? They put a thing around his neck and they used him to rob a bank, and the freaking thing went off when the law enforcement went there. You could literally see his body being ripped apart. Anyway, that is not what yes, Synth, yes. Okay, so her car was at Lowe's. She had left it there. The husband knew it was there, and he said he had to get it towed back to his home because he couldn't find the keys. All right? Again, we're going back and forth here. Thank you guys for hanging with me. There is no cause of death. There's only an autopsy which was released, and nothing visually can be seen by the naked eye. No contusions, no bruises, no strangulation, nothing. So now we're waiting for the toxicology. And good to see you, Jamie. Come on in.
Here for 10 years. He was called to make a delivery at a remote TV tower location. When he arrived, conspirators locked a metal collar bomb around his neck. Yep. They handed him a note, a homemade weapon,
yep, I think,
and sent him to rob a PNC bank for $250,000.
Today marks the 20th anniversary of the pizza bomber, an event that will always be part of Erie history.
See, the lead FBI investigator says the case was complex, but it continues to fascinate people every day. On August 28, 2003, an event took place in Erie that would captivate the attention.
Right there, guys, right there. Number one, they told him that it wasn't an active bomb. You guys need to go on to Netflix this weekend and binge watch that case. It's old, but my goodness. Right there, you see it. The bomb goes off because he didn't do what he was supposed to, and just body parts go flying. All right? That is crazy. I don't think that has anything to do with this, but I know he's going somewhere with it. Right? 23 years ago? Yeah, time does fly. Last night I was standing there texting somebody about the unaliving of my friend's husband. They weren't married yet. Whatever. Her boyfriend, and it was like 8:30, and I looked up and it was an hour later. I'm just standing there texting about this. I'm like, where does time just
of the nation with the pizza bomber case. 20 years ago, Jet 24 Action News was on the scene, and now today we hear from the lead FBI investigator of the case, Jerry Clark. Clark describes the case as sometimes bad things happen in good places to good people. He recalls the most challenging part of the case was linking the deaths of 3 individuals over the span of three weeks together. He says this was also a unique aspect.
So they sent him to a PNC bank.
And it was the woman that was the mastermind. Guys, I don't know if you're still here, Holly, and you know about this case, but this lady that orchestrated this reminds me of Queen Bee. And I'm sorry if you guys don't know who it is. You don't need to know who it is. It's the most toxic place on the internet. You don't need to go there. But it is called Evil Genius. And that is, when you see what's going on YouTube and people calling CPS, calling for wellness checks, doing SWATs, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to say equivalent to that is somebody on this internet that you don't need to be watching. Holly, if you hear me, shout out, because you know what I'm saying. Guys, before we get back to this, before we finish his theory, I want to show you this because I didn't download it to the right spot. I was going to show you in the very beginning, but it doesn't matter. It's perfect time is now. Let me show you something real quick. Here's another friend that opens up about the death of Elena. All right. Again, at the very beginning, I hope you guys can go back and check out the emails or the messages, social media messages that Elena wrote about heartbreak, so to speak, and how much she hates her husband, never wants to be with him. He's toxic. Screw him. She's finally free. Blah, 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 blah.
Even though it's not
Hold on.
complete devastation, even though it's not confirmed, we, the town of Lexington, the community, we knew it was her.
Mendy Miller holding back tears after the latest updates in the search for Elena Moore. Miller has known the Lexington woman for more than 20 years.
Well, I'm glad that she's against people calling CPS Canadian Nana. And no offense to anyone that does watch Queen Bee or QB, but so many things come from that chat and that area. There's so many things that are orchestrated. So most of these people don't even know who QB is. I'm glad that you do. Thank you for chiming in on that. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. But we'll say that there's a sector of unnamed people that do actually call CPS, and not because QB's doing it, but when your leader, the queen, says, we need to check on that baby. Something's wrong with that baby. And then those subscribers are so deep into it, and then they do that, somebody's causing it, right? We can agree on that at least, right, Canadian Nana? That somebody in the sector that's in the chat are calling CPS, etc., etc. All right, anyway. I know, right? That's the first thing. But here, check this out. Let's watch this real quick.
On Wednesday afternoon, authorities finding a body with the same clothes Moore was wearing when she was last seen. Authorities have not yet confirmed it is Moore.
Hope is always there. You want to think, you hope the police.
And like I said, she's identified now, but this is her friend that knows her from that town and the very small area where she went missing. They knew it was her before she was identified. She was wearing the same clothes that they saw her in at the gym. All right. She was found dead in the woods with no trauma, no bruising, nothing. And we went over that report, guys. We went over the actual report that says there was nothing. There was no, for those of you that just walked in, guys, no bruising or contusions, no lacerations, no gunshot wounds, no stab or puncture wounds, no blunt force trauma, no strangulation or ligature marks or any other external injuries. Nothing, nothing, and nothing. All right, there she was, found off the side of the road, very close to where she went missing from.
Police are wrong. We hope that this is not her that they found. But the hope is getting crushed minute by minute by minute.
Old Cherokee Road near Berkshire Drive blocked off on Wednesday after a tip to authorities. People who live in the Berkshire community right near the site where the body was found say they had SLED officers come into their doors on Wednesday.
A couple guys show up.
See, SLED is involved, so I know that someone says that SLED doesn't get involved until there's foul play, but for some reason they're saying they're not calling any foul play and SLED is involved. So if you know, let me know. All right. If you guys know about that, let me know. Yeah, that's nothing for, she was always walking and she was into fitness. I mean, let's be real. Most of her pictures look like that. They didn't look like the confused person that we ultimately saw at the door. All right. She looked like that. She was very fit and into wellness, etc. All right, let's get back to this and continue.
Opened my door there. They're from SLED. They show me their badge and everything. And they're looking for her, and they're asking around the neighborhood if I have seen a picture of this woman. And I said, no, I have not seen.
Joe Tonsing says the sounds of sirens and helicopters late Wednesday made him realize something serious was going on.
They found her under the bridge. And I thought, well, now, has she been sleeping there? She was sleeping somewhere, and she was eating somewhere.
Flowers on the side of a bridge on Old Cherokee Road Thursday, honoring the person who was found. Moore has been missing since last Thursday, last seen in surveillance footage in a Lexington Publix parking lot that night.
And that's another question we're asking on today's episode is what was she doing during those minutes that are not accounted for? That was a 13-minute walk to get there. However, they have a time frame when I don't know if it was her last phone call. Well, we talked about that earlier. And the fact that Testy, I'm just going to call you Testy, all right? We're not going to go any further, is there's not one area where people really walk, more likely to walk on 378. Well, yeah, I mean, did you see the side of the road there with the bridge? Why would she be walking there? That's why I say, was she lured there? What did they do to get her there? How'd she get there? Why did she walk there? Was it because she was confused? That's the thing. They allegedly had already searched that area and they didn't find her until 6 days later. She was right in front of their eyes. No, there's nothing about internal injuries, Pika, at all. Nothing. All right, let's continue. Oh.
Night. Mendy Miller says the timeline of events isn't added up.
You know, it just raises a lot of questions because, you know, there's video of her out there acting strange. But that's not the Elena that we know.
Okay, so let's drop that off. I mean, there's so many people that are coming and speaking out now that are saying she was just getting out of that marriage. She was unhappy. He was controlling, abusive. She said it herself. All right. So let's continue. You guys do me a favor. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for the last 2 hours and 15 minutes. I appreciate you. Hit that like button on the way in, the way out. Hype the video when you get a chance and go sub up to this guy. Even when he does say stuff like that, you could think for yourself and say, wait a minute.
This man shows up with a pizza. Then some sort of way gets a collar around him and say, you got to rob this bank or the bomb's going to go off. So what do you think the man did? He went to go rob the bank. Now, this was on national TV. After that, police have him surrounded. He's like sitting on a street with a bomb strapped around him. And he's pleading to the officers, hey, I got nothing to do with it. This bomb is real. And it blows up right there on live TV.
Yep, sure did.
Now, FBI concluded that FBI said that Wells likely was a willing participant who believed the bomb was fake, meaning he would do it and he thought the bomb was fake. And he thought it was all staged and he would walk away clean. But people have came out afterwards, okay, and said that he was grabbed at gunpoint, forced into it. A woman named Jessica Hoopsick later confessed she introduced Wells to the conspirators, suggested he may have been lured and then trapped once he realized the bomb was real. Okay. So whether Brian Wells walked into the situation willingly or not, the moment that bomb went off, it didn't matter. He was dead. And the people who put him there were sitting at home watching it all on the news.
And nothing connected them to him originally. So what he's trying to say and what I'm asking, he's asking was part of a scam and not putting anybody involved. And I'm saying, was she lured there? Did somebody say, hey, I need you to come here? Did they use a VoIP account? What happened? Was she lured there? Why in the hell, when that's not a place to walk, you don't walk there, that she just fell to her death off the bridge with not a scratch mark on her? It doesn't make any sense, does it? So I think that's what he's saying. Why the hell was she even out there?
Now, the people who did it, they did get convicted. They found out who did it. Come to find out, it was just old lady who put it all together. She planned the whole thing. And what she was trying to do was get money, enough money to hire a hitman, okay, to take out her husband. And she had co-conspirators. She had a handyman that made the bomb. And this pizza guy.
So how do you think then? That's what I want to know. If you don't, at 9:17 p.m., she goes missing into the woods. You say good luck luring a woman into the woods at night. Well, Testy, I got to tell you something. I've lured a women or four to the woods at night. Did I do anything bad to them? Absolutely not. But when you say luring, Women will come into the woods at night. What are you talking about? I'm hey man, if I was single, I would get off this right now and go to the woods and lure some woman out there. It's not that hard, I assure you. All right, what's up, Ashley, the animal lover? Good to see you. I have a different perspective on that. All right. She got out there. Did she walk out there in a haze? Did an alien come and drop her on the other side? Did she vanish and end up there? Was she there the whole time? I mean, then what happened?
Whether he was in it or not, or held at gunpoint, either way, the bomb went off, he died, and these people on TV watching it. Could this be maybe something that happened with Miss Moore?
Crazy.
Think about it. She's acting strange. Now, so allegedly, she fears for her life. She's walking off into these places. She's going to these strange apartment door numbers, like she's looking for something, like she's searching for something, trying to find an answer to something. Searching through packages with her phone in her hand, that the witness said, like she's searching or was talking to somebody. Did somebody tell her to go to the apartment?
So it's more likely that she just walked into the woods at dark time and just fell off the side of the road with nothing. That's more likely than some. I did. I'm being freaking dead serious. I mean, it's really, truly not that hard. Have you ever swiped left or right and then you guys chat for a bit and then you meet somewhere? Now, I would never say walk into the woods. Come down from the side of the road where you might fall 12 feet to your death. No. But yeah, might have been hungry. What's up, Allie? Good to see you. You do need to be on the rewatch crew. I always like to make you laugh, but I mean, when you say something like that, she didn't have to fall. Highway 6 is a gradual slope to the creek. So what do you, okay, let's say she didn't fall. Then I want to know what she did on Highway 6 to go down that gradual slope where they found her. All right. I met a stranger, my girlfriend now. It was at the beach in the woods. See what I'm saying? And sorry, ladies, if there's anybody that I've ever dated that's listening to this, but y'all know you guys go into the woods at night. You've gone to the woods at night with me, camping or out in the whatever, people that you don't know. Yeah, your stranger is your girlfriend now. Exactly. So I don't know. It's just more likely that she was lured out there somehow than for her to just have walked to her death. I don't know, man. All right, let's continue. Maybe she just walked down there paranoid nighting from the boogeyman. Well, that's a possibility too. Just saying. All right, let's continue.
And that maybe when you get there, he opens the door, you walk in. And that's why she went to walk in and she was like, oh, just a DoorDash delivery? Just a DoorDash delivery? Oh, and walks away. As in like she was expecting something more. And now we have the autopsy results. Art came back with nothing. So now we have to see about the tox. So what was in her system? So it is a very good possibility, because remember, I read to you guys, there's reports saying that people are going through her caller ID, saying that there were strange calls that was made before she even went missing. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm not saying this is what happened at all. But what I am saying is you cannot rule this out, because none of us following the story knows exactly what happened.
Exactly. And I don't buy any of the whole like too many. I stick with Occam's razor, and then you piece it together. And as it gets further away from Occam's razor, then you can go there, right? You can go there. But look at Teresa. I live in the woods, and Teresa lives in the scary woods. Teresa, if I go out to Florida, can I lure you to the woods? Those are some scary woods out there. But I think I might be able to get you in the woods. Oh my goodness. I'm drinking. Wait, is that your favorite flavor? Watermelon? It's good, but it just doesn't have enough caffeine in it. All right, let's continue. There's a public trail on the other side where the Highway 6 Exxon Trail put nowhere. I'm going to play this and I'm going to put on there again. I'm going to put, now Teresa knows me. I'm just teasing. She's in Florida. near the Maddie Soto dump site area, right? And that's scary. What's up? There's my Vermont. I live in Woodson, Vermont, and I'm afraid to go to my garage, my garbage can at night. I know. All right, I'm going to pull. Let me press play so I can pull something up. Yeah, those ones just don't have a lot, right? Scary Woods.
The only person that knows that what happened is no longer with us, Elena. Unless there is somebody else that's involved in this, which there could be. We don't know.
We don't know. Yeah, we know.
Or she could have just, lost sanity there we don't know. But I started thinking about this today. And I was like, hold on. Could this possibly be because I'm looking at these little clues. She was on her phone looking through packages. She's at the DoorDash, or she's at the door delivering food, or she's not actually delivering food. She followed the DoorDash driver up the steps and then pretty much intercepted and picked.
I think she was looking for the apartment that she was staying in. The person that said she was staying away from her husband after she got out of the mental hospital, that would make sense that she's going floor to floor because she didn't know which apartment it was. Jay was going into the woods hoping she'd run into Mike Myers. Oh yeah, we go hunting. We go hunting for serial killers and fictional serial killers as well. Okay. Larissa said, I went to the Bahamas with new guy, made my sis screen him, your Tinder swindler, until I determine otherwise. Right. And remember, you got to remember, you say the police spoke to the scammer. You got to remember that the husband was the one that called this in. All right. Keep that in mind. Keith, absolutely. It's so good to see you here, Teresa. All right, let's continue. I'm gonna show you the spot where they had the bugs and where she actually fell off so you can see, because I'm looking at it right now while I'm talking to you guys, and somebody's like, wait a minute, you fall into a ravine and there's not a scratch, a bruise, anything on you? What? That doesn't make sense. So we're going to try to make it make sense. Let's finish this, and I'm going to go back to that real quick, and I'm going to play that 911 call or the dispatch call the week prior that she went missing. All right. Teresa, I think she's in St. Cloud. Somebody who sent me a picture, and it looked like Jen Soto the other day. That was funny. Don't you guys have alligators? I'd be terrified. I'd be scared of alligators too. Freddie says when police went to handyman Rothstein's house, they missed something in the cooler. Right? They missed the whole body. I did see a post of her getting her nail. What? That was her. Was that her? Really? You're kidding me. I thought that was just a joke. Wait, what? For real? For real? I gotta put them side by side, because I also saw a post of her getting her nails done wearing a mask. And so I sent over the picture of Jen Soto without the mask, and we looked at the glasses, and the glasses matched her glasses. And I was just kidding about it, but I didn't know that was really her. Yeah, I saw that. So there you go. That might have been Jen Soto spotted in the wild, guys. Damn. We're not stalking her. It's me, Jen, 40. Hey, girl. Good to see you. All right, let's get this so I can get to the terrain, because where's the Mister in here that knows a lot more? Testicles? We'll just call him Testy. He knows a lot about that area. Jay, let's go, girl. I'm not afraid, but you won't find me on the side of the road. Exactly. They're a poisonous species. Another reason not to play around the woods. There you go. There you go. All that stuff makes sense. We're going to look at that too. Give me a second. I want to see that terrain. Let me finish this up. And
Picked up the receipt and reading the whole receipt. And says the guy's name. And then goes to walk in and was like, oh, just delivery. Like she was expected to walk in. And then they ask her, what is she doing? She's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Was she getting sent on some wild goose chase, really not knowing what she's doing, but could not say anything because she was being threatened?
Come on. I don't know if internet dropped. I can't see you guys. I can't hear anything. Let's do this.
It's a very good possibility. I just showed you the pizza bomber. Very good possibility. I just showed you the DoorDash driver or the Uber driver who lost her life.
I don't mean to.
And not only that, they're saying kidnapping scams are on a rise right now.
This is a ripoff that the FBI says is exploding right now all across the country. Michael Rollard says he got a terrifying phone call at 3 a.m. a few nights ago with his mother's name and phone number displayed right there on the cell phone screen. Then he heard what sounded like a distressed woman with a muffled voice pleading for help. And then a guy claiming to be a kidnapper gets on the line demanding money from him. He says the caller claimed to have kidnapped his mom and was demanding he send money via a Cash App right then and there.
Let me quickly run down these different type of phone scams that can go on, okay?
All right, I'm not going to go with this theory anymore. I don't know what the hell she was doing out there, but I'm going to just take you back real quick to where she ultimately was found. We do know she's been confirmed to be that body, and we go back, guys, make this make sense. Another detail that emerged days leading up to her disappearance, dispatch audio from June 5th at 2:17 p.m. captures a call to Lexington Police reporting a missing person. The caller tells dispatch they're reporting a friend missing from their workplace. Now we know these are the people at work that called immediately saying that she was missing. All right. During the call, dispatch references the name Elena Moore and instructs the responding officer to make contact. So this is 1 week prior to her going missing forever, and also just getting out of a mental hospital, or was it just before a mental hospital? Either way, somebody was scared for her. She was scared for her life, according to her friends, but it sounds like they were too, guys. Hold on, let me get this. Where's the volume?
(1131) County 10 idea missing person, Harmon Street.
71, go ahead.
It's going to be 123 Harmon Street, 123 Harmon Street. This is going to be where the caller is. They're wanting to meet with the officers. Caller states that her friend went missing from their work, the Gold's Gym on Augusta Road. Whiskey named Elena Moore. Also, if you could call dispatch, that'd be great, please. 1131 County 10 idea missing person, Harmon Street.
71, go ahead.
It's going to be 123 Harmon Street, 123 Harmon Street. This is going to be where the caller is. They're wanting to meet with the officers. Caller states that her friend went missing from their work, the Gold's Gym on Augusta Road. Whiskey named Elena Moore. Also, if you could call dispatch, that'd be great, please.
Where'd it go? Hold on, I want to show you guys something real quick.
1131 County 10 idea missing person, Harmon Street.
All right, we already saw that. So that's a week prior. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. Left her a few. You're back clean, having dinner and ice cream. That's awesome. Now, Melanie Melontoro says, what if the mental hospital gave her meds that she never had taken before and she had a bad reaction? That's a possibility, Melanie. It's all a possibility. But I wonder why her loving, caring husband waited till the next day, knowing his wife was having a mental episode, would wait until the following day to even say anything. And then when he did, he walked into the police department and made the most basic report ever. All right. Yeah, they didn't really believe him. It sounds like there was a press conference on this, but I didn't see it. Anybody? I cuff you. I know you're really good with all this stuff. Did you see a press conference? She got rid of her boyfriend and her daughter one night. I think they didn't want to compete with Maddie, was doing with men and ready to swap back. Damn, I know. Freaking Jen Soto, man. It's hard to even think about that. I wonder if she abruptly stopped taking her meds and maybe started experiencing acute delirium. There's a possibility. Caller was apparently at husband's employment office. They didn't even, I don't even know if they said that. Did they say employment office at her husband's office? Because she didn't work at her husband's office. They said at where she works. She works at a gym, but then she goes working out at Planet Fitness. Is that correct? Hold on. Let's put this on just for a second. This is the same day. This is that confusing day, guys. Look at the number, 319. She has shades on and she reads that damn receipt like it's her job.
I just want to take a picture of the door. Thank you.
319.
Oh, shit.
Yes, Jen Soto is.
I just realized that.
Remember, the name on it is Moore. It says John Moore. It's the same as her last name, guys. So it's like she's confused.
John Moore?
Yep.
John Moore?
There it is. Thank you.
She almost walked in, and then she says to herself out loud, "Oh yeah, I'm just delivering that." But she really isn't delivering anything. She got confused when she read John Moore, because that's her name, Elena, last name Moore, right? She looks at outside of the door and it's like, "Oh shit, this ain't it."
Just delivering that?
Just delivering that. 319. Okay. 319. Next time she's seen is on level 400, and I don't know if it was 19, 16. Doesn't matter. Whatever. I'm trying to find where they put the flowers by the side of the road. That is where she ultimately was found. But I also have another one. And then, okay, so strange details emerge. New information, raising questions in the case. According to the residents, this is where she was at the apartments, guys. All right, let's talk about this real quick. A lot of you didn't see-
But she's on the phone, and
when my lady come outside, she saw the lady still standing on the porch.
she was sitting in front of our neighbor's door, crisscross, and she had the neighbor's package, but she's on the phone, and I can't tell if she's looking up something or if somebody's on speakerphone, because I kind of hear something on the phone, but I don't hear any voices. And I'm like, I'm staring at her. And I'm like, that's our DoorDash lady. So I go take my dog potty. I come upstairs, and it's really, I'm like, "Do you know my neighbor?" And she's like, "No." And I was like, "Well, what are you doing?" Sitting there. And she was like, she was kind of like, she's like, honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, "Okay, well, can you please, leave his stuff alone?" And she says, "Okay." And she gets up and walks down the hallway, or walks down the stairs.
Okay. Here's something else that's very, very strange in this entire story. The location of the apartment complex where this video was recorded and the weird package thing happened at the neighbors. This is the Overlook Golden Hills Apartments, and it's only about 0.6 of a mile from the Planet Fitness. That's where Elena was last seen on June 11th, right? Elena's home is not so close. It's like 6 miles away from the gym. So that's about a 12-minute drive. So odd things are happening around the Planet Fitness. And remember, Elena is actually a personal trainer. Not necessarily at that Planet Fitness, but
she is a personal trainer, just not at that Planet Fitness, right? She doesn't want people bugging her while she's working out. And the confusion makes sense to me now that I heard someone say that she was allegedly staying in an apartment for the week because she didn't want to be with her husband. We saw those messages where she says, "I'm finally free." All right. And that's what led up to it. And then this is the last thing, guys. A woman who visited the scene where the body believed to be Elena was found and shared footage. And they're going to show you exactly where she was found. You can see the imprint, and the bugs were already there. There was maggots and bugs around. She was already in decomp. It was 6 days later that they found her. Okay.
It's very sad, you guys. Her name is Elena Catherine Moore. She was 39 years old. She went missing just a couple of miles away when she was last seen over there. And
okay, there it is.
Really sad.
It's going to be right here in this indent.
She was disoriented because I think mental health stuff, and that's where the body was.
Right there.
You can tell a body was there.
Yeah, you could actually see the impression of it being there. Now, when somebody dies, fluids, right? There'll be some kind of fluids or decomp liquids and so forth. So that's the actual spot. Okay, thank you, Keith. Wolf's Gym was where she worked, and that's where they ultimately found her, was right there, right off the side of the road. I don't know how they missed her the first time. Okay, this is the last time, and I won't play it again, but there you go. This is the path that people wouldn't be walking on the sidewalk. Now, below there, I have no idea. I've never even been to South Carolina, so I don't know.
It's very sad, you guys. Her name is Elena Catherine Moore. She was 39 years old. She went missing just a couple of miles away when she was last seen over there. And it's just really sad.
Look at this. Hold on.
She was disoriented because I think mental health stuff. And that's where the body was. Do you see? You can tell a body was there. Yeah, it's very steep. So say you're just walking, like this is just, say you're like in the dark, right? And you see woods out there and you're not thinking it's a sharp drop. You see brush. You're just like, oh, I'm going to go over here. And then right
down here. Again, looks are deceiving when you see the actual location and them saying a 12-foot drop. Okay. And you can see here's again where she was, like literally right there, right by the side, like if she fell off, minus no scratches, no bruises, no contusions, nothing. All right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying. If you earlier said it was a steep hill, so what if she was walking down the steep hill but that couldn't happen because there's nothing on her. There's no way she fell if there was no marks on her. That's what I'm saying. My sister goes to local gym and she ended up with a stalker from there. Really? All right, look at this. All right, let's do this and then I'm going to show you real quick. If you stayed here, awesome, because I didn't even realize that was Jen Soto. All right, so first, before I do that, let's wrap this up. We are here not covering the same cases every day because we want coverage for more people. Okay, so justice for Elena Moore. We want to find out what happened. We're waiting until toxicology comes back. And if we have to accept the fact that it was no foul play, well, good luck, because you're going to see this all over the internet and they're going to tear this man apart. I guarantee you, more people are going to come out. Right? Autopsy proves there was no fault. Exactly. From Highway 6, it's a gradual slope. It's a drop because it's a bridge. Right. It looks like she was placed there to me too, MM Clar. And how did they not find her the first 3 searches? They searched for days. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to show you. I wonder if there's another side she could have entered from. I do too. Or somebody could have entered from and laid her down there. I'm sure it's other way. I'm sure there's other ways to get there. Of course. But that's where they had already searched. They didn't find her till the 6th day. Vicky, if she was staying at the apartment, how did her husband know or think? That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. I agree. I agree with the drugged in place thing too. He's a private investigator at a firm that's a law firm with his sister that runs the office, and the private investigator that works with him is his personal it's his personal PR person right now. He's out there saying good things about the husband. He was a loving husband and he just wanted her home. He cared so much that he waited all night to call anybody. And then wait, he didn't call. He walked in and gave the most basic of reports. Okay, that makes sense. But we do need justice for her. We don't know anything. So we really, they can come back and say she had an aneurysm for all we know. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I promise to keep y'all updated. But that being said, justice for Elena Moore. Real quick, I want to show you, how did this move? I must have backed into it. Did you email that to me? But that is Jen Soto. I thought we were just teasing. Somebody sent this on, where'd they put this from? Justice for Madeline Soto page that I never look at anymore because, well, it's sad, right? Why do I want to keep looking at that? So let me see if I can find it real quick. Did you guys see that? I just wanted you to weigh in real quick. Justice for the main page, right? That's the 22,000 followers or whatever. Hold on. No, is it that one? Oh, here it is. Let me show you. All right. Cleanse the palate. We want justice for Elena Moore. Coroner should have picked up on that. My friend had one and they knew after the autopsy. Interesting. Yeah. Well, they didn't. Oh, it's interesting, done, but they didn't give us an internal report at all. Everything on the external is all we got. Nothing internally, no toxicology, and nothing. Yeah. So I get what you're saying, but that's the thing. All right, let me show you real quick. Check this out. We saw, who did I see the other day too? Oh, Casey Anthony was out in the wild too the other day, guys. I wanted to share with you guys, but I don't know if it was a weekend or what the deal was. Okay, check this out. Let's go to drop that. Let's share this. Thank you so much, Teresa, for the $5 super chat or super sticker. All right, let's put that down there. Is this correct? I heard a water bottle was like the one she was walking with. Are you talking about Jen Soto now? Because that is Jen Soto. I didn't realize that someone was just joking around. They say, I believe Jennifer Soto's still around. Same goofy glasses. She was getting her nails done. And that is, tell me if that is not what I matched up. The girl sent this to me, and the first thing I did was send a picture of Jen Soto and her stupid wonky ass glasses. And I was like, that's her. But I was just kidding because I didn't know that actually came from somebody in that area. Look at that. Oh my gosh, my blood boils. I live in Florida, and yes. And guys, by the way, I'm in California. I assure you I'm not stalking Jen Soto or Casey Anthony or anybody. Yeah, my girl Tiff sent it to me because she's the Facebook guru, and I sent you a picture back of Jen Soto, and I was just kidding. I didn't know you guys were. She cut her hair before that, though. She did. It looks like she cut her hair again, but let me see. So Tiff, did you send it to me in a private message or the mods? That's where I get mixed up because I sent back a picture to you, and I was like, yep, it's her glasses, and I was just kidding. I thought I sent it to you private or in the mod. What does yeah mean? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I should be able to find it real quick. Sorry to keep you. I mean, you guys can go anytime you want, but I know you guys are interested in it as well. I can't find it in there. I don't know why. I see the thing about Stephen Stearns. No, I guess I'll just Google it real quick. I can't find it unless you want to text it to me. I thought someone was just kidding around. It looks exactly like Jen Soto. And let me do this. Let me see if it comes up. Jennifer Soto spotted in Florida. Hold on. Images. All right, this is what I compared it to, was those wonky ass, ugly face glasses that she wears. And yeah, I mean, she was frumpier at the time. You could tell now that she definitely has. That was what got me locked up too, was because she was thinner. She looked thinner, right? Potato salad ass self. Yep. Okay, now here, check this out real quick. Let me see if I can pull that. I can't find the picture I sent to the girls because there's so many damn things that we go back and forth with. So let me stop this and just show you. No, not that. Share screen. It's this one. All right, I just wanted you guys to. I did a side by side and compared the glasses because I couldn't compare her frumpy ass potato fucking body, right? So here's evil potato Jen Soto. Look at her there. Look at her glasses. It won't let me click bigger on this, but look at the glasses. Look at her when she's thinner here. Like back in the day when she was thinner, that's what she looks like now. You know how people like they lose weight from stress, from being stressed? And that ugly face with those ugly ass glasses. Oh, let me see. Every time I click on it, though, it doesn't want to bring up the picture. But there she is. There are those damn glasses. That's what I compared it to. And what do you guys think? You guys think that that's actually Jen Soto? I didn't mean to do that, but I'm going to go back to this. Anyway, it's the things that make you go, That's all. That's it. That's all. Guys, and I might have something coming up. Psycho, she was, I believe. He must have been a monster. Yeah, right? Justice for Madeline Soto, man. She needs to be... Well, that is her picture, so I guess she was spotted, and I should probably look at the Justice for Madeline Soto page more often. Teresa, if you're here, you got to see this. Melissa, I'm still here. Jay, much love to you and your family. Thanks for covering all the cases. We all love you. Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. Jamie, definitely. All right. Yeah, it could be. I think it is. After comparing them, I didn't know that people were kidding or joking. Yep. I thought so, Deb. I was going to send it to you because I also got some other article, but I didn't want to upset you. I never want to upset you. There's a bunch of shit out there. Anyway, I got to get back to Stefan tomorrow, Deb. If you talk to him tonight or you got to message him, tell him I'm working on a response. If you would, please. All right, guys. That case is never ending until this evil potato is held accountable, or we don't see her in the wild anymore and she goes and runs and hides with her tail between her legs. I will. I just didn't want to upset her, Tiff. That's why I didn't send it to her, because what you sent me is very upsetting. And I don't feel like upsetting people. And yeah, I will. Clark. Good night. Love you guys. And I'm out of here. All right, guys. Love y'all. Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. If you're new here, make sure that you subscribe, hit all the notifications, and come back every day of the week at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central, and 7 p.m. Eastern. All right? Thank you. Love you guys. Shout out to Flojo. He's the man. I'd rather know the crap from a friend than a stranger. I know. I'm going to send you. I just didn't want to upset you this weekend, and I wanted to kind of make sure you weren't upset before. So I'll send it to you right now when we're done. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night, and love you guys. See you tomorrow. Teresa, I'm going to get back to you. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, love y'all. See you guys tomorrow. Good night.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?